Stryker, this is Clipper Curtis.
Oh, yes.
I've been trying to reach you all day.
I've been out.
I know. I'm calling you to set up a time for us to get on with the arrangements we discussed.
Yes, about shipping the tanky oil.
Yes, I figured you'd want to move on that as soon as possible to have the maximum effect on the other party.
You go ahead and arrange a meeting with Colonel Hassin, Curtis. Tomorrow morning at 10, my office.
We'll see you then.
Stryker, I hope you didn't try to reach me today.
What if I had?
You would have missed me.
I have missed you, Vicky.
No, I mean I was out most of the day.
Oh?
With Sam.
I spent the afternoon in Herman Park, observing the ducks.
What did you observe?
Oh, I admired the way they got the water to roll off their backs. I sat there trying to learn from them how to let a few things roll off my back.
Like what, Stryker?
Like you and Alex Wheeler, Vicky.
Stryker Bellman, huh? Boy, I bet he was real proud of his little woman.
Proud?
Sure, honey. I mean, after all, fooling around with Alex Wheeler means you made it to the top. Made it at the top, I should say.
Oh, yeah. Bellman was so proud he burst his buttons and turned so purple I thought he might croak.
Ah, yes, the eternal triangle. I assume the prospect of sweet revenge kept him going, though.
Yeah, right out the door.
No deal?
Bellman was too overcome with pride to firm up anything. But we're all set for round 2 tomorrow morning.
Well, 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 you must be very pleased.
Of course.
I mean, now's your chance to, say what you've probably been waiting to say. Thanks, Paige, for a job well done.
Thanks, Paige, for a job well done.
And of course, there are other ways that a grateful man like you might choose to express himself.
Yeah, but tonight, after hours, when we can turn off the lights and lock the doors and
Open the cash register.
Oh, darling. What's a few bucks compared to the gratitude I'm going to express in a much more personal way?
You're right. I do like the personal touch. So why don't you just wrap up my cash like a Christmas present and write me a little card saying, "Dear Paige, thanks for the memories. And to make sure you always remember, here's the $5,000 I promised you." You do remember. Our deal, Clipper? 5,000 big ones for, my role in producing your videotape?
Thanks, Paige, for a job well done.
Oh, baby, what am I hearing? I mean, a deal is a deal, Clipper. One, 2, 3, 4,
and 5.
5,000, Cliff. I mean 500. Listen, anybody can make a mistake. You just forgot to multiply by 10.
Honey, you're talking to a mathematical wizard. That's all there is. There isn't any more.
So that's how we play, huh, honey? Okay. Next time, nothing on faith.
You'd better hustle your tail right. What's the idea?
I'm sorry, Mr. Curtis. I was detained. I'm here, buddy.
Why, Billy Joe, you're all hot and bothered, honey. Now, let me see. What would make a man like you so hot? Not to mention so bothered. Have you been up to something unchaste this afternoon?
What's the matter with you? I ain't been chasing nothing but my own tail.
No. I mean, a little love in the afternoon, sweetheart? A hot date?
Yeah, my wife's.
Well, that's very contemporary. You allowing your wife to have her own social life.
Yeah, well, she ain't gonna have her own social life anymore. It's not with that country cop. She's had it. So's Ricky Decker if you don't watch out.
Oh, that country cop. I thought Ricky only concerned himself with law and order.
Yeah, well, I just laid down the law. From now on, she's gonna be following my orders.
My, Mr. Junior speaks and Ms. Junior obeys.
You know, sometimes you gotta do a little more than speak when a woman's concerned. I mean, you see, that's the basic difference between a man and a woman. A man, he listens to reason. A woman, you gotta lay over the reason right on top of her head once in a while.
And I bet you're real good at it, too, aren't you?
That's the way I am. I do what I have to do, baby.
Some women wouldn't let you get away with it.
You know, you talk a mean game, but I could handle you too. And I bet you'd love it.
Oh, yeah? Well, you just raise one hand to me, Buster, and you lose it at the shoulder. Okay, Striker.
It has come to my attention that I have been blind for about 20 years. That's about the number of years that you and Alex Wheeler have been having yourselves a romance, isn't it? Vicky, you're gonna have to say something to me. Either Striker, you old fool, I've never loved anybody but you, or Striker, you old fool, you have been blind as a bat for 20 years. One thing is sure. Either way you look at it, I am a fool.
I thought we had a deal, Striker.
Not to rummage through the years we were apart. I guess we did. But it wasn't written in blood, Vicky, and there's a different complexion on things now, isn't there? I've been proved wrong in practically everything I have ever believed. I thought you left me because of your career. I didn't like that much, but I could have lived with it. I thought if you loved any man, it would be me. I didn't like much doing without you, but it was better than doing without you altogether. And I thought that Alex Wheeler was my friend. Now, it turns out you left me not to go to work, but play around. It turns out that I am not the man you love. And it turns out that my best friend made his move towards you as fast as he could.
No, Stryker. All right. I did fall in love with Alex. But I didn't choose to do that. And I tried not to, but you can't always control these things. But I didn't stop loving you, Stryker. That's why I left. I didn't want to hurt you. I left Rena with you because I didn't want to hurt her. I knew we could never be the family that you wanted. I wanted you both to have each other.
20 years ago is 20 years ago. That's a long time. Is it over?
Yes, Stryker. It's over.
And you wanted us to be back together again. Because you don't love Alex.
Now, Colonel Lassine, you've been underestimating the man who's going to be your partner. We meet with Stryker Bellman tomorrow morning at 10. His office. I told you. I knew Stryker Bellman would agree. And you should realize by now that when Clipper Curtis knows something, he knows it. I know, Colonel, time is... Don't you? In no time flat, your tank, your oil will be on our ships. Right where it belongs. Right. Later. Come in.
Mr. Curtis, I'm Justin Marshall. I telephoned earlier.
Oh, yeah. What'd you have in mind?
A KVIK TV sports feature on you.
Oh, yeah? Advice to the aspiring jock?
Well, no, actually what we had in mind was something more personal.
The grand old man of pro ball and his memories.
No, actually we're interested in your present and in your future. We're doing a series on sports figures who've gone on to make it big in other areas. You're the pilot project. It's all about you. That was my idea. You've got a huge following. It's guaranteed to give us the highest of ratings.
I like the way you think, Marshall. You know, I can't place you. I don't remember seeing you in TV sports.
I'm the new boy on the block.
But I've seen you somewhere.
Paige is my sister.
Aha.
Yeah.
Justin Marshall. I didn't make the connection. I don't see much resemblance.
Well, actually, we don't look much alike, but we have a lot of things in common.
Yeah. Any publicity at all is good for the club. And I must confess, since I left the Oilers, I have missed seeing myself on the tube. So, when do we get started? Do you have any background questions for me today?
Oh, yes, questions. I've got questions.
Alex, I've had a fabulous day. I couldn't wait to get here to tell you about it. Alex, what?
Darling, please, just let me look at you. I'm so worried about you.
Well, what is there to worry about?
Justin Marshall?
Justin?
When I called over to the cook's house, they said you'd left with him.
And?
I was worried.
Well, I don't understand. He took me on a tour of KVIK TV. We had a delightful lunch at Maggie's restaurant. And then he drove me here to see you. Why would you worry? Oh, Alex, you are the most sensitive man. You were afraid he'd be unpleasant to me.
Yes?
The way Dawn was when we met at Mike Marshall's house.
Worse.
Well, I'm not sure anyone could be more unpleasant.
It's possible.
I suppose so, but Justin Marshall was a perfect gentleman. In fact, I wish Dawn would take lessons from her older brother.
Iris, are you sure we're talking about the same Justin Marshall?
Of course. Darling, he was worried about you. Alex?
Oh, I was just, you said he talked about me?
He hopes for a reconciliation between you and Dawn.
Iris, this doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh, I know. It is surprising that two people in the same family can be so different, but... Well, look at Kate Marshall. Maybe Justin follows in her footsteps, and Dawn follows in, well, I don't know, someone else's.
I don't think so.
Well, anyway, Justin and I spent most of the afternoon discussing Dennis and Dawn. I think he's going to be a very positive influence on her. And, Alex, it makes me very hopeful about us. Dawn will come around, Dennis will come around, and everything could work out exactly the way we want. In fact, darling, Justin has inspired the perfect idea about how to help Dennis and Dawn. That's why I'm here, to tell you about it.
Vicky, please answer me. At least look at me.
Stryker, there is nothing more.
Answer my question. That's all I want.
Stryker,
One question, one answer. One answer. If you've come back to me, it's because you do love me.
I've never stopped loving you, Stryker. I've told you that.
You want us back together because you've stopped loving Alex.
I want us back together because I love you and I want to make you happy.
That's not what I asked.
Stryker, Alex and I are part of the past. It's over. But it did exist, and there's nothing we can do or say or wish can change that. But it is past.
I've heard about some photographs that a private investigator took. But it's some months since Rena commissioned that piece of dirty work. It was when you came to see me in Bay City when I was sick. So I guess that all he photographed were things that were past.
Yes, Stryker. Those pictures are historical documents.
Nobody forced you to come back to me, but you did. That means just one thing. It means that your love for Alex has run its course. And your love for me has stood the test of time. I just wish I could hear you say that.
It's true, Stryker, we have stood the test of time, and you're right. Alex and I are only friends now. The only feeling we have for each other is friendship. Oh, Stryker, this has been a horrible strain on your heart. I'm so sorry.
It's my heart. And if there's any strain on it, I guess I get credit for putting it there. Serves me right for being a suspicious old fool.
Stryker, why don't you go lie down and I'll bring you a dinner tray.
A boiled chicken, cottage cheese, and some club soda.
See if I can rustle up something more colorful.
me posted. Thank you, Mark. We're all set.
I don't believe it. You just pick up the telephone and presto?
Well, you wanted a major art chain to make Western Art an affiliate in Houston. So, tomorrow, Dennis will get a call from the Woodard Gallery in New York. I bought a lot of art through Mark Woodard, so with the promise of new business, they'll be more than happy to go along.
Did you have to promise a lot of new business?
No more than I wanted. So, we'll have the money funneled to Dennis. So when you think that he's ready to accept me and my help, that's when we'll tell him.
You seem absolutely determined to make every single part of my life perfection.
That's why I wanted you to have the Marshall house. It's lovely and very near perfect.
Oh, Alex, things could be quite perfect for us in a garret. Or even a little pension in Saint-Tropez.
Then, we'll find you an exquisite Renoir or magnificent Degas through Western Art. Then you will choose just the right frame to set off its perfection. That's why I want you to have the Marshall house to set off your perfection. Do you know that all the Marshalls have agreed to the sale?
For the first time, I feel that we just might finally have everything we've always wanted.
Does that mean that you'll accept my gift?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
You know how rare this is?
To find what we have found?
To find it, lose it, and find it again.
But we have found each other again.
And whatever I have to do to keep us together, I will.
You're back in that grim mood you were in when I arrived. Does it have something to do with Justin Marshall?
Yes.
Well, don't be mysterious. Tell me. Justin said you were mysterious.
You did?
Darling, he said it's rumored that you own...
Oh, that's my private emergency line, and Terry's left for the night.
And I guess I have to share you with your public. Well, we can talk about this tomorrow.
All right. Hello?
Alex? Alex, I have to talk to you.
All right, just a moment, please.
Tomorrow, darling.
Tomorrow. Vicky, what is it?
You told me you could swim. You want to swim on the Sahara Desert?
Don't turn anything on.
What's wrong?
I look like some kind of creature out of the deep. Between the sand and the salt water, that'll do it to you every time, I tell you. I don't want to scare you off.
No, I call that natural beauty.
No more light.
Okay, then, how about some starlight? We'll sit out on the fantail while the captain sets sail for Houston. How about it?
Sounds wonderful. And everybody looks good under starlight. It's so peaceful and hopeful to look up at a starry sky. When I was a little girl, I used to wish on every shooting star I saw.
Oh, yeah? Me too.
I still do.
Well, I don't.
Oh, are you so worldly and sophisticated?
I've just made all the wishes I need to. And my fate's in the arms of the woman I'm holding less.
Well, you know, my mother warned me about Irish seamen.
No, I mean it. I made all the wishes I'm going to. And I'm going to make sure that every single wish comes true.
Are you sure there might not be some new wishes coming up with the sun tomorrow morning?
It depends on how well we do with my old wishes under the stars tonight.
I think we better hit the deck, matey. Get an ocean breeze to cool you off.
Okay. Ooh, wait a minute. Ta-da! Come on, lads.
Vicky, I'm having trouble hearing you. What's wrong?
I'm sorry, Alex. Okay, I'm going to be all right now.
Is it Stryker?
Yes.
Oh, Lord, no.
Oh, no, Alex, it's not what you mean. He's all right. But we've just had a scene, a very bad scene.
Over.
Yes, Alex, he knows.
Oh, no.
This is what I've been afraid of ever since that my daughter turned her private detective loose on me.
I know. I'm sorry, Vicky. This must have hurt Stryker terribly, and you, of course.
He was very deeply hurt, Alex. I don't think I've ever seen Stryker so beaten down.
And it's senseless to stir this whole thing up now. Completely senseless. You have every right to your own private life when you separated from Stryker and then when you went back to him because of his illness. It was over with that.
Yes. It was over.
It was a bad scene, you said.
Yes. And I felt so ugly because he was asking so little of me, and I couldn't even give him that without lying in my teeth. He only wanted to know if I'd stopped loving you, and the truth is, Alex, I can't stop.
Vicky.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that, Alex.
Well.
But I did want you to know about Stryker.
Yes, I should. Thank you for telling me.
You'll have to face him tomorrow or the next day.
Yes, I know. And I'll be thinking about what to say to an old friend. But maybe somehow I can make it easier for him.
Bye, Alex.
You take care of yourself, Vicky. And I'll be thinking about what I have to tell Iris. Before somebody else does.
It's a long way up to the top of the World Club from the Astrodome. You made it here so quickly.
Well, after my injury, I was all finished with strutting my stuff in front of the fans, but you know how it is, I didn't want to disappear from sight. So I put my contacts to work for me, and I set myself up here. And I dig it. You know how it is. You meet and you greet. You make friends and influence people. And it all goes with the territory when you manage a club like this.
Manage it, then you don't own it.
Oh, that's a figure of speech.
Oh.
You know what I mean? When something's your baby, you manage it. You know, you stay right on top of it, kind of make sure everything clicks.
Well, then you do own it.
Oh, of course. I told you, it's my baby.
Yeah. Well, it must have been tough getting started. I mean, a halfback makes a lot of money, but, I mean, this is the classiest place in Houston. Yeah, you must have sunk a lot of bucks into it. Now, were those yours or somebody else's?
Well, behind every businessman, there are 2 or 3 bankers. But, I don't see why you think your viewers would be so interested in the business end of things here, Marshal. I mean, it sounds pretty dull to me.
Their hero makes it big. They want to know how he got there.
Yeah, well, I'm the hero, and what I want them to know about is the glitter and glamour up here. Save the other stuff for Dunn and Bradstreet.
Ah.
You see, any night of the week, you see the makers and shakers of this city. Oh, of the country, right here. And I think your viewers would probably get off on information like that.
The makers and the shakers.
You know, politicos and execs, doctors, lawyers, sheiks and sultans. Even an occasional spy coming in from the cold.
Yeah, yeah. The creme de la creme. That's what my sister Paige calls it. I guess that's what you find at the top.
Well, you can't get any higher than the top of the world.
Yeah, and you're tight with all of them, huh?
Well, let's just say we get along.
Has this proved financially good, I mean, for you?
Well, anything that's good for the club is good for me. Obviously, because I am the club.
Well, with a cast of characters that populate this place, I'm sure you must get something going now and then. I'm sure that's what your fans would like to know about. The behind-the-scenes top of the world. I don't know, what goes on under the table, so to speak, huh? I mean, arranging deals.
Deals?
When I came here, I couldn't help overhearing something about shipping Tangier oil. I just thought that, I thought maybe that in your spare time, you put together deals like that for people like Alex Wheeler. Everybody knows that the world building is Alex Wheeler's nest. Do you help him feather his nest, Clipper?
Justin Marshall features sports. Well, just like having it in bright lights. Well, not exactly like it.
It's close enough for me. You're the one with flashbulb fever.
Well, it wouldn't be close enough for me, honey. I bet you even punch in a clock.
Just like a working man.
Common working man, exactly. Up before noon every day?
Well before, Paige.
Not good for your mental health, Jess. Not good at all. I mean, bringing home the bacon.
I'm sorry if my working for a living offends you.
Should offend you. Whatever happened to my brother, the racing superstar, huh? That was somebody I could brag about. You know, a man who'd rather drive through an office at 110 than sit in one. Now look at you, honey. My. All signed up. I bet you even have a pension program, don't you?
Paige, remember what used to happen when you teased me a long time ago?
You used to throw me in that damn horse trough.
Just keep that in mind. You don't settle down, I'm gonna try to find a little place around here for you.
My, aren't we a bully this morning?
Let's start all over. Listen, I want to talk about the dirt. What about the dirt under those little carpets up at the World Building? Alex Wheeler's secret little dirt piles.
Dirt?
I hear that Alex Wheeler knows more about Houston than any other man alive.
Oh, I wonder how.
You sound like you know. Clipper Curtis, maybe?
Clipper? Oh, honey, what would that ox know about high finance?
He's got a pretty high-class clientele watering at his place. Maybe he checks out the action for Alex Wheeler. Quietly.
He wouldn't know how to be quiet. Besides, if you were a banker, would you trust your secrets to Clipper Curtis?
Maybe he eavesdrops.
Darling, eavesdrops. Oh, just no one eavesdrops anymore. Darling, that's so Middle Ages. No, there are much more efficient ways to gather information these days.
Yeah? How would you go about it?
Me, personally?
Yeah.
Oh, I suppose I'd, want to try to get every conversation down right. Preserved. For future listening at my leisure, of course. In the comfort of my own office. If I had.
Yeah?
At least that's what I'd do.
Now that conversation's being recorded at the top of the World Club. Bugged and recorded.
Finish your breakfast now. The school bus will be here any minute. Do you want to miss it?
Yes.
Yes, what?
Yes, ma'am.
But then you'd have to walk to school, just like your Grandpa Michael and his brother William. You know, Steve, those boys had to set out before sunup to get there in time for the 8 o'clock bell.
Yes, ma'am, but that was in the old days.
Old days?
Yes, ma'am, before they had helicopters.
Oh, helicopters. How well, we just don't happen to have one.
But if we did, I bet I could sleep a lot longer and still get to school on time.
You could if we did, but we don't. Now mush.
But it would be great if we did, wouldn't it, Mom? Didn't you love it yesterday, zooming around in Mr. Connor's chopper?
He sure knows the right words.
Too many questions.
Didn't you?
Yes, honey, it was fine. I'll tell you what, if I had my choice of transportation, I'll take Lady Grey any day of the week.
No, horses are okay, but they're so slow.
And so are you, young man.
Is this a caviar sandwich?
Caviar?
No, it's just plain old peanut butter and jelly. And remind me not to tell you any more secrets, okay? Now you get going.
I don't tell secrets, Mom.
Yes, it was a lovely afternoon.
I'm just as bad as Steve. You know, Jenny, in my day, beaux didn't come courting in such exotic contraptions. And if your feet happened to leave the ground, why, you just thought it was natural levitation. Now, where did y'all fly off to?
To his uncle's yacht.
Yacht? My goodness, a genuine jet-age suitor. Up in the air and then out on the high seas.
I know. And that's exactly what worries me about Ryan.
Whoa, that certainly got you foaming at the mouth, didn't it? Darling, I said that's what I do. I didn't say anything about the Top of the World Club being buttoned.
Don't play with me, Paige. I want to know all you know about Wheeler and Curtis.
Do you want to know how much I care about what you want? Zippo, brother. So let's just talk about what I want now, all right? And let's talk nicely, please.
What do you want?
What everybody else wants, honey. It's green, it's crinkly, it smells like the inside of a bank vault. You know, COD.
I realize that everything you have can be had for a price, but you don't expect me to buy a pig in a poke. Just give me an idea of what you have, and then we'll just see if it's worth it.
Down to cases, brother? That's fine. Because what I've got to sell is worth plenty.
Oh, sis, you're so subtle. Wait, what are we talking about? Bus fare?
I bet you even take the bus, don't you, honey? Well, so much for your taste. Well, Clipper Curtis hasn't mind paying.
Oh?
Sure. Full fare round trip for the scenic route.
Oh. You work for your job now, huh?
With my talent, brother.
All right. Name your price.
Well, finally. And you're just in luck. It so happens the info is on a special clearance sale. One day only. Get it while it's hot.
How much?
Oh, Oh, I'd say, 4,500 should just about get it for you.
It's an odd number. How'd you arrive at that figure?
I said it was a clearance sale, didn't I? I'm clearing out some bad air. Actually, it's the uncollectible balance due on a debt that Clipper owes me.
What worries you about Ryan Connor, Jenny?
Oh, Kate, I don't know. He's lived such a footloose life. I mean, he's responsible, he's dutiful, he's a good man, I know that. But he's just not very settled yet.
Oh, Jenny, any man that's worth his salt is bound to have some adventurous spirit in him. You know, he's going to want to test his energy and his strength, even his passions. He's got to know what he's made of, what he can do, and find out who he really is.
Maybe so, but Ryan's been on the move for such a long time. How can I expect him to settle down for me?
Well, Jenny, that for sure is a matter between the two of you. But let me tell you something. You'll never be happy with any other kind of man. Don't you see? The thing that makes a man restless is the same thing that makes him dream. Take Barrett. How he loved this place as much as any man could. And nobody knows any better than I do the plans that he had for you and Steve here. But he had his rambling spirit, too.
Kate, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Barrett picked his tour in the Air Cavalry. He didn't have to go. He had spent more than his share of time. And I fought it with all my heart. I didn't say anything. Maybe I should have pleaded out loud. But I didn't. So he went. And I lost him. Kate, I just couldn't go through that again. I couldn't take it. I lost one man to adventure and wanderlust or whatever they call it. And I'm not going to go through it again. I won't.
So you said it. Did you hear?
What?
You said it, that you'd lost Barrett. It wasn't Ryan Connor and it wasn't me. It was you, dear.
Yes. I have learned how to say that.
I was afraid for a while that maybe we were losing you, inch by inch, to some backwater in your memory that had you stalled in time.
Maybe that's what was happening. I don't know. But I'm ready now to face it. And I even think I'm ready to face all the legalities. At least I told Ryan that I'd try. So I'm going to call Stryker's office and see if I can get things started.
Do you want some company along for support?
No, thank you. I can do this. I can ask the Department of Defense for a certificate that says that all the facts say that Barrett's gone. I think I'll call him now, and I'll call and see if I can come in today. Mr. Bellman, there was a phone call. Mr. Bellman?
Yes, Hallie.
Mr. Curtis called from the Top of the World Club. He wanted to know if you were ready for your appointment with him. I told him that there was nothing in your appointment book.
Yes, it's all right, Hallie. Curtis made that appointment with me directly.
Yes, sir.
Well, call him. Tell him to come down now. Is there anything else?
No, sir. Well, yes, sir.
Well, what
Maybe
is
this
it?
isn't my place, but Mr. Bellman, are you sure you should be here? I mean, maybe you should go back home and get some rest. You look really...
I know damn well how I look. I look like death warmed over. That's a fair description, isn't it?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Look, I don't care how the hell I look. I'm not going home. Now, I came in here to get some business done. I'm going to get some business done.
Yes, sir.
Hallie, I'm sorry. I'm grateful to you for being concerned about an old, broken-down Texas wheel.
Holding her left for no reason. Okay then, the affair is over. Please make sure it stays that way.
I said oh. You want to see it again?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Hey. Stryker, I'm sorry.
Everybody knows but the husband. It's the old joke, isn't it? The old joke.
Nobody's laughing, Stryker.
Aren't they? I can hear them. 20 years worth every time good old Stryker turned his back.
That's Alex and Vicky, not your friends.
My friends.
You've still got one, me. And friends look out for each other, you know.
Do they?
Well, sure. So you won't say anything to anybody about my little toy, will you? It helps me keep an eye on the place when I'm off in another corner. Terry doesn't know about it, and if she found out, it might be a whole lot.
Found out what?
Terry found out I was recording conversations in the club. She'd be up to Alex's office in 2 seconds.
I don't care if you tape record in every bedroom in Houston.
Well, I'm not worried about the rest of Houston. If you ask Terry about this, she'll know that I bugged her. And she'd deny the whole bit. You know, she'd do anything for King Alex, even lie for him.
Lie for him? I wonder how often Vicky lied for Alex. I wonder how often she went from her office to his bedroom.
Then you won't say anything?
Oh, who would listen? Who would listen to Alex's court jester? He's fool.
That's where you got it wrong, Stryker. The fool is the one who ends up on his face. The king is the guy who laughs last.
It's gonna be a long time before I can get even for all the years that Vicky and Alex made a fool out of me. Rena tried to tell me. Why didn't I listen?
You know what they say, Stryker? Don't get mad, get even. And now's your chance. Punch a big hole right in Alex Wheeler's empire. Let me call the scene on the phone and tell them they won't need Alex Wheeler to ship their tank here over.
Yes, come in.
Friend Stryker, let me introduce Colonel Hassan of the Royal, Revolutionary Army of Tangier. Stryker Bellman, once Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Texas.
I'm Chargé d'Affaires from Tangier, Mr. Bellman.
My pleasure, Colonel.
This will only take a minute, Stryker. The Colonel is so happy not to have to do business with Alex Wheeler that he'll agree to practically any terms that are fair, of course. So that's the long and short of it. The colonel needs to leave behind an agent he can really trust when he goes back to his cabinet post in Tankia. But it can't be just anyone. It has to be someone he can trust and someone totally new to the oil game, since the revolution has cut so many old ties. Right, Colonel?
Yes, right, Mr. Curtis.
So the colonel will give the shipping contract to me, and I can ship the gravy any way I like. And, of course, I knew you'd have your own reasons for wanting in on the deal, so here we are. Well, how does it sound to you, Stryker?
How does it sound? Like rote. Like you learned your multiplication table real well, boy. I'm sure you've made this pitch before, and I think I know who too, but that doesn't matter. It's all right. It's all right. I have been around this town forever. I know some of the old boys in the shipping game. It won't be too hard to round up some tankers to haul your country's oil for you, Colonel.
Woo! We'll all get rich. Ain't a grand, partner?
Money. It can't make us happy, but I guess it'll give us a little satisfaction.
Oh, that's right. I mean, that's right. Why, eventually we could even outstrip world oil. You'd like that, wouldn't you, Stryker?
Mr. Curtis always has such a selfless motive, doesn't he?
Colonel, don't suppose that you have to fill me in on what my friend is about. I am neither blind nor feeble-minded, although there are quite a few people who would make me out to be both lately.
Stryker, that's not what I...
What your motives are in this unlikely arrangement, I don't know, and I truly don't care to know. Just remember this. You may be dealing with one fool, you're not dealing with two. I am going into this with my eyes wide open.
Watchfulness is a virtue, Mr. Bellman. It is my honor to be your associate.
Well, I will draft a letter of intent that we can all sign, and subsequently a full contract when we know who else is involved. For the time being, you have a deal.
Stryker, guess...
Better make this quick. Vicky isn't in if she's coming in at all, and I am just too busy to fool her.
Sam, peace. Sam, I promise this won't be a waste of time. Okay? Sam, my sister, Paige, the almost silver screen star, Paige Samantha Walker.
Well, any friend of Justin's is suspect in my book.
Paige. Sam is also my boss. In fact, she's probably a better person than Vicky to talk to about what really goes on in the world building.
Yeah, right. How did your meeting with Clipper Curtis go?
Right. Well, he's really a broken field runner. I mean, it's just like what you suspected. There's more to him than meets the eye. I went there expecting to do some regular feature story on some football player, retired, doing well. What I came up with was a story that would be on the front page.
So you found dirt then, huh?
Hey, dirt. What we have is a real meaty expose.
Oh, and goodness. The price of meat these days is simply disgraceful.
I told you, Paige sings at the top of the World Club. She's privy to all that information that I think we're going to need. But she says it's going to cost.
How much?
$4,500.
4,500?
Needless to say, I'm not in a position to cover an amount like that, but I think the station will come up with it, won't they?
That's pretty steep, even for a lead story. Without Vicky's okay, I just don't know.
Sam, you could give the word.
An expensive word. Not that we haven't gone this route before. But it's risky. I don't know.
This is a very hot story. Every television in Houston will be tuned to KVIK.
Yeah, maybe. But it's the informant I'm worried about.
These people are sleazy, slippery. You're never sure if you're going to get what you want, if you get anything at all, for that matter.
Boss, take a chance.
That's easy for you to say. I signed the check.
Oh, but I understood this to be a cash deal, Jones.
These people are generally creeps, if not downright crooks. Cash, you say? How well do you know this informant?
Oh, we're very close.
Well, it's tempting. Okay, 2 conditions. First, I want to know more details about exactly what we're paying for. And second, if you can arrange it, I want to meet the Fink.
Oh, well, that's easy. Meet Paige Marshall.
Fink, creep, crook, and bad lady extraordinaire.
I'm sorry. Didn't know you were busy.
Come right in, Ryan. You know Clipper Curtis, don't you? He runs the club upstairs.
What are you doing here, Connor?
Oh, Ryan joined my law firm recently. He's handling World Oil's legal affairs for Alex.
Oh, yeah? Well, it's too bad his uncle hasn't taught him any manners. Knock before entering.
Sure, next time. Right now, suppose you tell me what you're doing here, Curtis. And with our friend the Colonel, too.
That Buster is none of your
Keep
business.
quiet, Curtis. Mr. Curtis here was merely referring me to the best lawyer in town.
Oh, really?
Yes, but now we have concluded our business. Curtis.
Oh, that's very good, Colonel. Because you're going to be needing a good lawyer one of these days.
Do you mind filling me in on what that was all about?
Okay now, Stryker. What were they doing here?
Now look, son, maybe Clipper's got something about your manners. You don't answer a question with a question.
Will you tell me, please?
No, I will not. It's confidential.
Well, I don't care if it's a classified government secret. Now, I've got to know what those 2 charmers were doing here together.
It is none of your business, son. Now let it go at that.
No, sir.
Now listen, I haven't made you a partner of this firm yet. You don't say no to me.
I'll say it if I have to. Now, this is my business.
How do you figure?
Finding Sheikh Zadi's murderer is my business.
My compliments on how well you maintained your composure. I'm certain that Ryan Connor did not for a moment suspect your behavior.
Hey, shut up, huh? I'm trying to think.
That must be a painful exercise.
I don't need you on my back right now, Wasim. I'm trying to think this out.
Your thinking, Curtis, has succeeded only in getting us into greater and greater danger. Ryan Connor is very smart, very tough, and he does not like me.
Gee, I wonder why. You're such a lovable character.
But he also knows that you overheard a plot to kill Sheikh Zadi. And it will not take him long to conclude that I was the second man involved. That is, once he finds out that the new government has rewarded me.
Hey, man, where are your guts? I mean, don't sweat that guy. You're always ready to run scared, aren't you? Well, not me. I can handle Connor. Now, don't worry about it.
Interesting term, Curtis. Don't sweat it. When you seem to be drowning in your own sweat.
Hey, I said I can handle it, now knock it off.
Your self-confidence is overwhelming and entirely unwarranted. I am weary, Curtis, of your behavior and of your greed. Do what you will. I will be leaving for Tankir soon.
Suit yourself.
But I have no desire to be pursued by the Sheikh's family as an assassin. So I want to settle the matter of the videotape recording before I leave. If you please, give me the recording and name your price in cash.
Well, maybe a bird in the hand is worth more after all.
Surely, Curtis, you have not forgotten the combination to your own safe.
Hell no. And I haven't forgotten what's in the safe either. Or that I'm dealing with an accomplished assassin.
Come, Curtis. You have no reason to fear me. I don't want any more trouble.
That's right. You don't. So you'll play ball no matter how chicken you are. I mean, what's in here? There's my passport to independence and power. A lifetime supply. And I'm not giving that up for a handful of cash.
You're a fool, Curtis. Fool. You don't understand.
I understand this is my shot at the big time. And I'm not giving it up on account of your cold feet.
You have luck, Curtis. That seems to be your only asset. Had we been in my country, well, we know how to deal with unreasonable men in my country.
Well, you're on my turf here, Colonel.
Yes, and I'm wasting my time. I am leaving, out of Ryan Connor's territory, while you will be in the middle of his grasp.
All right, Colonel, then go, with my blessing. But the deal is still on, right? I mean, after all, there are telephones in tank here, I assume.
I'll Goodbye, Curtis.
What if Connor does put it together? Hey, I don't know what you're talking about. Hassim? Why, he's just he's a friend. What do you mean an associate? I mean, that is ridiculous. Hey, the only thing we have in common is that we both like the pretty women, huh? I mean, I told you, I know everything I know. Go ahead and search the office. I need to store this somewhere for safekeeping. But where?
Now look, if you are here to get information about Sheikh Zaidi's murder, I just...
Well, actually, I came with some good news. Ginny called.
Ginny?
Yeah, she's ready finally. She wants to start the process of clearing Barrett's succession.
Oh, well, good. Good. I knew you'd handle that just fine.
Yeah, I was glad too. I didn't think anything on earth was more important when I talked to her. But what I saw just now, when I interrupted, that suddenly become much more important. Stryker, don't you have eyes? What in the world's going on here? Curtis and Hassim together?
Will you please tell me what you are talking about? I understand. I am a certified loser when it comes to seeing the obvious.
You knew Curtis claimed to have overheard a plot against Zaidi. That he identified that poor stooge, that dead orderly from the hospital, as one of the plotters. But he never identified a second man.
Do you think that colonel was the other man in the plot?
I just might be making that accusation, yes. Depends on what they were doing here. For instance, if Hassim was working out some kind of fancy legal deal that would let Curtis benefit from Zaidi's death, was there some kind of deal, Stryker?
Now look, you are a lawyer, son. You know better than to question me about my client's confidence.
Stryker, there's a lot more at stake here than a client's confidence.
You just take care of your own accounts. And as far as I'm concerned, that is the World Oil account. Don't ask me to give you information about the competition.
Terry, is Alex in?
Yes, but he's taking a personal phone call in his suite from Iris. But go on in if you want to.
Hi, baby.
Hi yourself. And, to what do I owe the honor of your visit? I'm not even going to ask why you're skulking around out there. Playing private eye.
The truth is, I get lonely for you sometimes. And you're usually too sweet to say, bug off, I'm busy, so I figured I'd eyeball the situation myself.
You know, I'm never too busy for you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, if you say so. But, wasn't that Ryan Connor I saw just coming in here a few minutes ago?
Well, it looked like him, but he zipped in here so quickly I didn't get a good view.
Yeah?
Boy, somebody must have lit a fire under that man.
I can understand the temptation. Just kidding, baby. Always kidding.
Yeah, well, never mind about him anyway. I'm just so happy to see you. You know, it's been...
Hours and hours.
At least 3. Oh, stay back. Yes, Alex. Yes, of course. I'll be right in. The man I take my orders from.
I know.
Oh, baby, I'm sorry. Come back and see me later when I'm off, okay?
You know it. Later, baby. Shipping reports. 1968, 1970. Perfect. Not much activity left in this drawer. Come on, come on. Thanks, kid.
You say you discussed this whole tanker oil scheme with Clipper before he ever came to me, right?
Right.
Good. All I want is for you to refresh my memory a little.
Why all this concern? I mean, it was a silly idea. Clipper let himself get carried away with a dream, that's all. And he's aware of that now. Well, anyway, what was really so awful about it?
Nothing that connects Clipper to a scene in the assassination of Sheikh Zaidi is silly. I want to know everything you know now, right now.
Terry, I realize that Clipper means a lot to you.
A great deal. And I'm tired of seeing him being given a bad time.
I respect your feelings, but I hope you will help us understand what's going on here.
Of course. I have no reason not to. I want you to know, Alex, I'm sure Clipper hasn't done anything wrong. All right? What do you want to know?
Well,
Seeing as though you're a friend of Jill's, I guess your check's good enough.
Thanks.
Isn't she a sweetheart?
Oh, well, 4 digits are better than none. It was a little easy. Next time I'll have to up my ante.
Do me a favor. Next time, take your business to some other station. That wasn't easy at all. I had to pull all the rank I could muster with finance.
Oh, is that why it took so long, honey?
You have got my sports banquet money for the entire year. Don't spend it all in one place.
Well, you know, I was wondering. I was about to buy some KVIK stock with this money. Good investment, huh?
Oh, Paige. That would be a very good investment. Because after you've earned it, after you've told us about Curtis and the Top of the World Club, and where Wheeler fits into the whole picture, KVIK's stock is going to soar.
Well, seeing you're a friend of Justin's, I guess your check's good enough.
Thanks.
Isn't she a sweetheart?
Oh, well, 4 digits are better than none. However, it was a little too easy. Next time I'll know to up the ante.
Do me a favor. Next time, take your business to some other station. That wasn't easy at all. I had to use all the force I could muster with finance.
Oh, is that why it took you so long, honey?
You are carrying my sports banquet money for the entire year. Don't spend it all in one place.
Well, I thought I might buy a little KVIK stock with this money. Good investment, huh?
I think it'd be a very good investment, Paige, after you've earned it. After you've told us about Curtis and the Top of the World Club and where Alex Wheeler fits into the whole picture, I think KVIK's stock is going to soar.
No reason to come unglued, brother dear. You know my rules. You pay, I obey.
We're all ears.
Well, the first thing I noticed was that foolish elevator. I mean, it was hard not to notice it. Poor Terry Decker spends the livelong day in some never-never land between Clipper's office and Wheeler's.
Terry Decker, is she the sister of that race car driver? What's she got to do with all
She's
this?
Wheeler's secretary. She has been for 10 years. Now I think she's Curtis's...
Bosom buddy? Well, at least she thinks she is.
Oh, so that explains it. Curtis and I live in the same complex. I always see him by the pool with this dark-haired girl.
Well, anyway, this raven-haired beauty and I were talking one night, you know, just chatting, girl talk. When suddenly, out of the blue, she muttered something about having me fired. Well, needless to say, I was shocked and appalled. Especially when she said that she'd go over Clipper's head to do it. I mean, what's overhead the top of the world, huh? Clouds and rafters? Is this an appeal to the angels, or did she mean that,
Bingo. Guess who, Sam?
All right, I'll have a research team plow through the legal snowbank and see if they can come up with a bank note or a receipt or anything to prove that Wheeler's behind the club. But what I want to know is why. What's in it for him?
You ought to know the answer to that. The clientele is a who's who of Houston. Half the deals in this town are made up there.
No, if it's information he wants, there's better ways than watching the corporate crowd shake hands over lunch.
Yeah, I wouldn't knock it. Works pretty well for Clipper. Of course, those little monitors in his office help. You know, he can see every inch of that place from his desk. And then, too, I suppose those teeny-weeny little microphones underneath each table come in handy. You know, when he gets tired of reading lips. And then, too, gets tired of listening, he can just take a little nap after he turns on his video recorder.
You mean he tapes conversations for Wheeler?
Isn't that illegal, sir?
Oh, no more than treason or armed robbery.
Well, shoot 'em up, cowboys. That's it for me. Hope you all had a nice afternoon, and see you all later.
She makes Rena look like a saint. But you were right. The money is well spent. Now, where do we go from here?
Straight up. To the top of the world. Don't worry, boss. I've got a plan. You see, it's perfect. He's expecting me for the interview anyway. You just get me a cameraman with brains and a little nerve, and along with Clipper Curtis's smiling face, we're going to get you shots of hidden microphones and tape machines and the works.
When is all this supposed to happen?
I told him I'd be there this afternoon.
This afternoon? That doesn't leave us much time. I just don't know.
Time? I'm doing all the legwork.
Justin, you've got to let me get this straight in my head. After all, it is pretty risky.
Look, what do you want? You want a 1-minute spot about the happy halfback? Or do you want the nitty-gritty about why Wheeler is kept at the top of World Oil?
You're so naive. Think about it. Wheeler is the type of man who is bound to have a battalion of lawyers ready to descend and slap a slander suit on us.
It's just like a woman.
Oh, what's that supposed to mean?
It means don't get so nervous. There's no law against telling the truth.
And how do we know Paige isn't lying? There's no way to check her story.
No reason for her to lie.
She just walked out with 4,500 reasons.
All right, what do you want to do? You want to ask Alex permission? Alex, could we come up and tape some evidence against you this afternoon?
Listen, Buster. You had better believe before you get the green light on this, it is going to be approved and reapproved, and not just by me, but by Vicky.
Well, you might as well call Wheeler anyway. You're going to get the same answer. Sam, don't you know your aunt's been having an affair with him for years?
Yes, I do know. I'm a little surprised you do. Or has Rena been up to show and tell again?
Well, there's nothing to tell, is there? It's pretty old. It's a pretty old story. I just expected Victoria Bellman to be stronger, that's all.
She is strong. It's just that strong women are attracted to strong men. That's just a fact of life, and it's all the more reason why we should check with her before going ahead with this.
You really think she's going to say yes? Tell the whole world her lover is a crook?
What's that?
Orange juice.
Well, it's not exactly champagne, but it will help us celebrate.
If only there was something to celebrate.
Ah, but there is. The future. Our future. And it finally arrived. Today.
Our future?
Yeah. Guess who I was just talking to on the phone? The vice president of Woodard Galleries.
The big New York chain?
That's right. And they're looking for an affiliate right here in Houston. And somehow they managed to get our name. You know what that means? That means that Western Art will have unlimited credit and access to the finest artists in the world.
And you and me.
That's right. We can stay. You and I will live and work together right here as Mr. and Mrs. Dennis Carrington.
It's just what we hope for. But how did they find out? Who told them about us? It could have been Justin. He knows some people in New York.
Well, who knows? The next time they call, I'll ask them, all right? But right now, this calls for a toast. Presto changeo. This orange juice has just become imported champagne.
Imported from the ranch. Lovely bouquet.
1980. Not a bad year.
The best ever.
To Champagne. And to all our dreams come true.
And to our anonymous friend.
Right. Oh, and I almost forgot. And here's to the look on my mother's face when I tell her that you and I are going to make it on our own. Without, Alex Wheeler's help.
On our own. Together.
All right, for starters, did neither of you see a connection between the oil deal Curtis cooked up with Colonel Asin and Sheikh Zadi's death?
That's the worst of it. This whole business just slipped my mind. The day that Clipper approached me was the same day that Iris brought her son, Dennis, over here for lunch. Between trying to break the ice with Dennis and mend things with Iris, I just had other things on my mind. This scheme was so outlandish.
All right, okay, I see. Now, please, could you give me the rest of the details?
I told you all I know. Clipper said he could get contracts to ship Tankier oil. That's all.
Well, with the revolution and knowing the kind of character Asin is, he just might have been able to swing it. Now, how does Clipper know Asin?
He said they were friends.
They didn't look too friendly to me when I saw them. Did you tell you that too, Alex?
Well, I believe he said that they were colleagues. He said the colonel wanted him to be Tanker's agent, but now that you mention it, though, Asin didn't say much. And he seemed almost relieved when I said no. I remember thinking that he might have just been humoring Clipper.
You're warm.
What does that mean?
Now, what exactly did you tell him, Alex?
No. Plain and simple. When Clipper started pressing me for reasons, I told him the truth. I won't touch oil from the refinery that cost Mike Marshall his life. Not with all this trouble that's continuing on between us. The last time I saw Justin was at the business end of a rifle, and he meant to kill me. Then Dawn comes at me with her fist. And what's worse, she's done a fine job of turning Dennis Carrington away from me. Nope. I won't add fuel to that fire. Not even Tankier crude.
Those are darn good reasons, and Clipper knew it. But he even told me later he was glad you turned him down. That he knew it never would have worked.
Well, then why did I just see him and Asin in Stryker Bellman's office pitching the same deal? No, I didn't hear them. And all Stryker would tell me was that they were talking about competing with World Oil. What does that sound like to you? Come on, it's pretty obvious. Clipper and Asin aren't friends. They aren't even colleagues. Think about it. Curtis doesn't know oil. So what use is he to Asin? Unless he's got our friend the Colonel over a barrel. Alex. He's blackmailing Asin, I'm sure of it.
No!
Because Asin is a second man, don't you see? The one who came up with the plot to kill Zadie. He's probably the one who did in the orderly, too. And your boy Clipper has known about this all along. Terry, I'm sorry. I just have to call it like I see it, okay?
You're not sorry, you're glad. You've never liked Clipper. You've had it in for him since the first day you met.
Terry, that's not...
You're right, I don't like him. Friend or enemy, I wouldn't make up lies about a man.
Well, then don't jump to conclusions either. Look, I'll be the first to admit Clipper's no angel, but you don't know him like I do. Sure, sometimes he's selfish, sometimes he's even greedy. I know that. I'm not blind. But underneath it all, he's a good man, Ryan, whether you want to believe it or not.
I guess we all have to believe what we have to, huh?
Ask Alex. Tell him, Alex. Tell him you trust Clipper or you wouldn't keep him on to run the club.
Terry, I know how you feel about him. But the truth is, if it weren't for you, Clipper would have been long gone by now.
Well, You two must think I'm a prize fool, don't you? Don't you? To be loving the man you say cost Sheikh Zady's life? The man you call a liar and a blackmailer?
Terry, think now. Has he always been honest with you?
Yes, always.
Come on.
Always! Look, you suspect the worst of everybody. You think I'm lying now?
And he's never pressured you, to make you see things his way, huh?
No, of course not. Pressure? You think he'd bribe me?
No, I don't mean money. I mean feelings, emotional blackmail. Now, never?
No. No, he loves me. He wants to marry me. He just can't yet. But he wouldn't. I wouldn't let him do that to me.
Then he has tried.
Damn it. You deserve the best, Terry, and Clipper Curtis is not it. Alex, thank you. I know all I need to know. I'll take it to my contacts with the feds.
All right, good luck. Let me know what happens. And I hope you're wrong.
Almost wish I were for her sake. But I'm not.
Terry, don't! If he's done nothing, then he doesn't have to be warned. But if he's guilty, you can't. I know how you feel about him. I also know why you can't.
Well, here I am, right on time.
Oh, Jenny Marshall! You are right on time to brighten up my day. That's what you are.
Oh, Stryker, I'm sorry. I thought Ryan would be here with me.
Sorry, is she? Well, I will tell you one thing. There was a day when they used to come hunting after me. Particularly the good-looking ones like you.
Oh, you. You know you're still the most sought-after man in town. You've got Rena around your neck and Vicky and...
You know what they say now. Women are fickle. It's best to have a few in reserve.
They do say that. Do you think they're right?
Well, about some, maybe not about you. As a matter of fact, the fickle one is Ryan Connor this morning. He was just here. He said you were coming into town, and then something urgent reared its ugly head, and off he went.
And he just left? Well, I guess I'm not in that urgency category.
Now, listen, don't look like a calf that can't find its mammy. He'll be back directly. Come on, sit down in the meantime. I'll help you sort out your business. I have an idea. I know why you're here.
It's about that certificate for Barrett.
Well, there's a little bit more to it than that, but it's still a pretty straightforward business. You have to petition the Department of Defense for a certificate of presumed death. That's the first thing. Then you take that to a Texas civil court and have them clear up Mike's estate. That will assure Steve of getting his father's share. Sound complicated?
No, never sounded simpler. You're a fine lawyer, Stryker. You talk like a lawyer and you know how to say things. But when you peel back all those words, what it really means is that I'm giving up on Barrett. I'm letting him go.
There's no voice to blame you but your own now. You have done him right. I would never say that to you if I didn't think it was so. Barrett Marshall. As young as he was one of the few men that I always looked up to. I would never sit by and let anybody do him wrong. Not even his wife. But 5 years. There's not many women that would wait that long. Not many at all.
No, the waiting was easy. The sun comes up, goes down, comes up again. Time played its usual tricks. I couldn't keep him, Stryker. Not in my heart, in my mind. He's more of a shadow now, a silhouette. A very old photograph. Weathered. Fading. And now there's something else. I seem to be...
Hi, Stryker. Here he is.
Ginny. Hi.
Good morning. Are you busy?
Well, as a matter of fact, I am. I've only got a few minutes. I didn't want you to think I'd forgotten our appointment, but I'm afraid I can't keep it. For you.
Oh, certainly.
You make me sound as if I'm a child demanding too much attention.
Hey, come on. You know I didn't mean that.
Listen, will you two excuse me? It's just about time for my morning constitutional.
You're angry, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Ginny, if you're angry, just holler at me. Don't make me guess.
No, I'm just confused. I wouldn't have even come here this morning unless you would have asked me to. Well, no, that's not entirely true. I wanted to get this legal procedure out of the way. And whether you or Stryker takes care of it, it doesn't matter. But Ryan, still, you looked at me as if I were some kind of a bill collector.
Maybe I did, huh? Well, I guess a little bit of guilt will do that to you. I'm sorry. Just as something else came up, and I'm not used to having these divided loyalties.
Oh, it's not easy, believe me.
Look, I really meant to spend time with you today, and I'm sorry about brushing you off, but you and I spent a lot of time talking about duty, and you understand it just as well as I do, maybe even better. And I told you how much I owe Sheikh Zaidi.
This has to do with him?
That's right. I just got a solid lead on who killed him. Now I can't let that wait. I've got to follow it up right now, right away. You understand that, don't you?
I think so.
Good. Now when this is done, I'll be with you. I'll call you just as soon as it's over, okay? I promise.
All right.
Ginny, I've never been very good at being in love. Maybe I just never put my mind to it. I don't know why. But you and me, well, I'm not going to give that up. So if you just wait for me until it's done, okay?
How long do I have to wait? A few days, a week, a month? Don't make it long, Ryan. I know what waiting does.
It won't be long. It won't be long at all.
Oh, listen, I cut my morning walk shorter. Too much exercise isn't good for a man my age. It seemed that Ryan left here quite a clip. Anything gone awry in here? Of course, it's none of my business.
No, Stryker. It's exactly what you said. He had some urgent business to take care of.
Patience, Ginny. That young fella has got a penchant for doing one thing at a time. I ask him to get signatures. He gets signatures. If I asked him to go fly a kite, he'd just go fly a kite. But everything else goes by the board. You can count on that. Listen, you want to postpone this business about Barrett for a while? You can call me when you...
No. If this is the right thing to do, it's just as right today as it will be tomorrow.
Oh, Iris. I thought I heard the telephone. I was expecting a call from Stryker. Ooh, but the looks on your face tells me it must have been one of your bevy of beaux.
No, it was Dennis.
Dennis? Well, now, this is an occasion. I thought he was holed up somewhere, taking no calls, at least not from you anyway. Has he had a change of heart?
Not yet, but I'm confident he will. He does go with some very good news for Alex.
He's relaying messages through you to Alex?
Oh, no. I'll explain later. I have to hurry and dress. I'm meeting Alex to talk about renovations on the house.
Oh, so it's all settled, huh? Well, I must say, honey, that is some gift. Little did I know when I talked you into visit in Houston that you'd wind up being one of my neighbors, practically.
You sound as if you almost regret it.
Oh, no. Oh, of course not. But I will miss having you in my guest room. It'll just be little old me kicking around this empty house, just me and Beth. What a nightmare.
I know. Why don't you come with me now? I could certainly use your advice on the house.
No, honey, you don't need me.
But I do. I enjoy your taste. And besides, Rena, I don't know what things I can get in Houston and what things I can't.
I'm sure that whatever your little heart desires, Alex will have it flown in from Paris or Jupiter or wherever.
Oh, that's it, isn't it? You won't come because you don't want to see Alex.
No, I just have things on my mind.
Rena, that's not true. Every time I mention his name lately, you pout or make a face or some snide comment. You've become almost as irritating as Dennis.
Oh, now wait just 1 minute. I'm the one that tried to get you two together, remember? Way back then, you were the one quaking at just the mention of his name.
I'm well aware of that, and I was grateful to you, but things have changed, and I think I know why. You're jealous.
Me? Jealous of you and Alex? Oh, no, Iris. Honey, you're barking down the wrong alley. I mean, I know some who might be, but not this kid, no.
I'm not talking about just Alex. It seems to be me. You don't want me to have attention from any man, whether it's Alex or Justin Marshall.
Oh, now, Justin is a little different.
See?
Honey, I just want you to be happy. Don't you believe me? All right. Just to prove to you that you're wrong, I'll agree to go as far as the world building, and I'll say hello to Alex. I've got to talk to Stryker anyway.
Well, good. And afterward, you ask Stryker, and I'll ask Alex, and we can all meet for lunch at the club.
Well, I wouldn't count on it, sweetheart. I have a feeling that Stryker and I are going to be pretty busy.
Iris. Rena.
Surprise, Alex. Aren't you glad to see me?
Of course.
It must be nice having your private elevator from the garage. I'll bet it's just perfect for secret little rendezvous. With Iris and heads of state, whoever, maybe even the press.
Rena just came to say hello.
Yes, hello, Alex. How are you? I'm fine. Oh, my, isn't this lovely? Just as I had imagined it. No, actually, just as I had pictured it. How do I get out?
Through these two offices, and then out into the hall.
Well, Alex, I'm sorry for cutting our reunion short, but I have to get downstairs and check on Stryker.
I understand.
He hasn't been quite himself lately, as you know.
Yes, I've heard, and I regret it.
I suppose you do, but then people always care afterwards, don't they? Well, so long. See you later.
What on earth is she talking about? Honestly, Alex, why must she be so unmannerly to you?
She hasn't given you a reason?
No. In fact, she has the cheek to deny it altogether. But I have my own theory.
So do I.
You do?
Yes, but we'll talk about that later. Right now, I want to take you over to your new house. There's a decorator waiting for you at your beck and call, and a landscape architect if you wish to.
Home. How strange.
Why?
I've always been a rather homeless person, I think. Even Bay City was. Where Mac was. And before that, boarding schools, hotels, apartments. I was always temporarily lodged, you might say, as though I were forever on the way to someplace else.
You were. But now that you've arrived, Houston's finally feels like a home to me. And it will to you, too. You'll see. I promise. I mean to make everything here, this town and that house, perfect. As perfect as you deserve.
Now, I'll have Hallie type all that up. You just have to come in and sign it and have it notarized. Don't look so glum. This is just the end of phase 1 now.
Daddy?
Oh.
Oh, Jenny, hi. How's every little thing out at the ranch?
Oh, fine. And you? You haven't been out to ride lately.
Well, have you gotten rid of that ill-mannered foreman of yours?
Rena.
You mean Max? Oh, Rena, I don't think that Max will ever leave us till the river runs uphill. Thank you, Stryker.
My pleasure.
Call me when you need me, would you?
No, I sure will. Okay, bye,
Bye.
honey. Well, one goes out and another one comes in. I have got the world building agog with the procession of beauties that pass through my office.
Speaking of beauties, Daddy, did you or didn't you talk to Vicky last night? Now, you promised you'd call me. Well, is it over between you two or not?
Your mother and I had a very candid talk.
Oh, pooh, that's a politician in you talking. Now, I want to recap, blow by blow, you hear? I've waited a long time for this, all those years you wouldn't even believe me. All I want is a little satisfaction.
Well, I'm afraid, honey, that you are not going to get it.
Oh, yes, I will. One way or another, you just watch me. Now, what did Mommy, dear, have to say to herself when you told her that you knew all about her and Alex Wheeler?
Very little.
Oh, don't
Very
tell me.
little indeed.
I can see it now. I bet she played injured and contrite to the hilt. That woman's got more ploys. I mean, why does she ever bother buying a TV station to run when she could have been a star on the screen? All right. All right. So you're too gentle spirit to have trampled her into the ground like she deserves. She was counting on that. Daddy, what I want to know is what she did when you told her you were going to walk out on her.
What?
Stryker, you did tell her that now, didn't you?
There was no need. There was no need to do it. No need to say it even.
Stryker, what are you saying? Now, I know you. You're not just going to lie down and let her and her fancy man steamroll over both of us.
Will you hold on, Rena? When Vicky and I went back together again, I swore I would not hold against her anything that happened in the meantime. 20 years is a long separation. I don't guess that I ever expected her not to see somebody now and then. I will admit I was a little surprised at who the gentleman was. But your mother must have loved me or she wouldn't have come back to me. And the day she did, everything between her and Alex was over. Ancient history. And you and I have to do our best to let it lie.
Daddy, she's gone off and done it to you again. She's pulled the wool over your eyes and played patty cake with the truth. You're still dead wrong about Vicky.
No.
I guess there's just one way to show you that you are. Come on, drive me home.
Oh, he was so full of romantic plans again. He and Dawn were so delighted. And I'm certain that Dennis has no idea why Western Art has approached him.
Well, we'll keep it our secret until you think it's best to tell him.
You should have heard him. He went on and on about what this would do for their future, his and Dawn's. Oh, he was so happy. Of course, they both realize that someone must have recommended them to Mr. Woodard. But their best guess so far is Justin Marshall. Isn't that funny?
Oh, are you Mr. Wheeler? Morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Yes, I am, and you are, Pal. Just call me Biff. I called Miss Decker, and she said you were on your way. Oh, I'm honored to meet you and all that, but, Mr. Wheeler, I have got to talk to you.
Well, go ahead. What's on your mind?
Well, the zoning laws, that's what. I mean, what are you planning to put in here, a bank?
Oh, dear. No. Mr. Powell, are you the decorator?
No, ma'am. I'm your contractor. I'll be making all the permanent changes you need, you know, knocking out walls and whatnot. Well, you've heard of us, the Powell Brothers. We do a lot of work here in River Oaks.
Could you go on with it, Biff, please?
Oh, sure. Well, you see, I've got this list here of things that you supposedly want. Now, just let me read it for you. 1 8-foot wall. Masonry or brick, 6 to 9 inch thickness, enclosing the entire estate. 1 guardhouse at street entrance with a 2-way intercom and direct line to the police, fully equipped for 24-hour use. Deadbolts on all the doors, silent alarms throughout, masked window alarm.
Hold it. Hold it, Biff.
Alex, what is all that for?
Lady, that's what I said. Now, what are you keeping in here? Gold ingots?
No. Something much more precious. Where did you get that list?
Oh, from that, what's his name, Mr. Connor. Now, he said that you sent him.
I did. I asked him to look over security, but evidently he went a little overboard. But don't worry, Biff. We're not building a fortress here. If you'll call me tomorrow, we'll discuss what I want.
Okay, but me? Thank you, sir. You hear? Ma'am.
Right, bye.
Alex, what was all that about? I mean, why did you send Ryan here?
I want this house to be safe for you. I don't want anything to happen to you here.
Well, protection against burglary is one thing, but Alex, walls? A guardhouse?
Darling, I have to admit there's some things I haven't told you because I would never want you to worry, but sometimes a man in my position is bound to have enemies.
Well, I suppose so. I hadn't thought of it.
And sometimes people will think that the easiest way to hurt me is to reach you.
Still no answer.
No,
If she's not there and she's not here, where is she?
there's no telling.
You don't think she's with the Wheeler?
No, Justin, that's all over with.
What's keeping her from the office? This is not the Victoria Bellman I've always known.
Well, I may as well tell you. You'll probably find out anyway. But Justin, please don't repeat this. Ever since my aunt broke up with Alex Wheeler, she's been drinking.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Way too much and way too often. At first, I thought it was just fatigue. But the other day, I found her passed out in her office, drunk. Lord knows where it's going to end.
Alex Wheeler. Eating away at another human.
Where are you going?
Listen, if Wheeler's got that much of a grip on Vicky, she is in no shape to decide whether she's going to do this expose or not. I'm going to decide for her. I'm going to get that camera crew and get up to the top of the World Club myself.
Hey, Justin, if you do that, even if you get something, I can't guarantee we're going to run it.
Well, baby, this isn't the only tube station in town. See you around, Sam.
No, I do not want to see them. You know that. Is that why you dragged me all the way out here?
Stryker, I thought you wanted to know the truth about Vicky.
Is there nothing that you will not accuse your mother of? Do you suppose that after I faced her down, after I told her that I knew everything about her and Alex, that she would still lie to me?
I know she did.
If she said that she wasn't hung up on him anymore, still wasn't seeing him, then she lied, and I can prove it.
No.
And you just take one look at these pictures, and you tell me how far Vicky and Alex have been staying apart.
Do you think that I am senile or something? I know when those pictures were taken. You hired that detective to take them when Vicky was down in Bay City seeing me when I was sick.
Daddy, that was the first time. When I came back to Houston, I got curious again, so I hired that detective to do one more little job for me. Or I should say the same job all over again. Now, Daddy, you can tell from these pictures that they're new. Vicky's hairstyle, her summer clothes, look at them. Look. You don't want to. Stryker. Honey, I understand. Do? As long as you're not sure, you can still keep on doubting, you can still keep taking her back, you don't have to worry about where she's been when she's not with you, but you're just fooling yourself. Honey, I want you to look at this one. It's fairly harmless. This is Vicky at the private elevator. Now, do you recognize that summer dress? She didn't have that one months ago, now did she?
Show me. I said, show me, damn it. Show me the rest.
Isn't that sweet, honey? They make such a lovely couple of worms. Oh, look at those soulful eyes. They must have been pouring their hearts out. Oh, and Daddy, that one, that is my favorite. Look at that kiss. Look at those tears. Now, you tell me that Vicky still doesn't love Alex Wheeler. Honey, it's as plain as the nose on your face. She's crazy about Alex Wheeler. She's crazy.
Show me. Damn it, show me the rest.
Now, look. Isn't that sweet? They make a lovely pair of worms. Oh, look at that one, those soulful eyes. I bet they were just pouring their hearts out. Daddy, that's my favorite. The kiss, the tears. You just try to tell me that Vicky still is in love with him. Huh, it's as plain as the nose on your face, Daddy. She's crazy about Alex Wheeler. 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 You see what she is? Just what I've been telling you all along. Nothing but a... Daddy? Daddy, are you all right? Daddy, answer me!
I'm all right.
Daddy, you're not Daddy, I'm gonna call Stryker. I'm calling Kevin's truck. Kevin! Answer me! Kevin!
Alex, I don't understand you. You said you wanted to share your life with me.
And I do.
Well, then why did you wait until this to tell me that there are people who might want to hurt you? Or me because of you? I'm an adult now, Alex. I can face facts when I have to. If they're presented to me in the first place, why didn't you just tell me the truth?
My only thought was to protect you.
Protect me? Well, if you truly want to protect me, Alex, then spare me from anything but the truth.
You say...
No more inventions, please. Just the truth and all of it.
But you say that as though being candid can never be painful. You've asked me to be wholly truthful with you. You've asked me not to press you on your reservations regarding us. But you've never explained what you talked about with Brian. So can you honestly say that you've been completely truthful with me? Hmm?
No. But perhaps it's time now. Oh, Alex. So much has happened in the years we've been apart.
Oh, yes.
If only I could tell you. But I can now, can't I? It's been so long since I have told anyone the whole truth, Alex. I don't even know if I can anymore.
I've had more practice hiding the truth than telling it myself.
Well, then it's all right. We're starting out even, and we can help each other learn along the way. But do you think we can do it? Learn again to talk frankly, admit our secrets? Can we come to really know one another again the way we did before?
We can talk for hours. We have all the time in the world to talk, but right now the decorator's here. Shall I get the door?
Yes, please. Please do open the door.
I'm gonna get that camera crew and get up to the top of the World Club myself.
Hey, Justin, if you do that, even if you get something, I can't guarantee we're gonna run it.
Well, baby, this isn't the only tube station in town. See you around, Sam.
Sam, are you still waiting for Mrs. Bellman to come in?
Yes, I am. Is she here?
No, but she did call. And she said she wasn't feeling very well today. She asked me to cancel all her appointments.
Well, then she must have called from home, but
I really don't know.
I've been calling her there all morning and there's been no answer.
The way she sounded, I don't think she's too anxious or maybe even able to answer any phone calls.
Oh, Lord. Oh, she must be drinking again.
Sam, I've never uttered one single word to anyone about that. And I wouldn't say this to another living soul, but I just know you're right. She sounded awful. I've never heard her that way before.
I'm going over there.
I doubt if she'll even answer the door.
Well, she's gonna have to. I have to talk to her, and it just can't wait any longer. It isn't too late already.
Hey, hold steady, Striker. There we go.
What's that for? Pep me up a little?
No. No, it's to calm you down.
I'm sorry, Kevin.
Sorry about what?
Well, for disturbing your day. For something like this. I hate to bother people, most of all you.
Well, you, Striker, most of all you, do not bother me at all. I'm happy to do anything I can to help you.
For a cantankerous old coot like me, what the hell for?
Suppose I care more about you, Striker, than I let on. Besides, whether you like it or not, I'm still your doctor, aren't I?
And a great one.
Sometimes I wish you thought I was a terrible doctor.
What for?
Well, it might explain why you're such a terrible patient. Well, that's right now. You should look ashamed. As I have told you countless times, stay away from strain, stay away from hard work.
Stay away from excitement. But do you listen? No.
I know, but this time it couldn't be helped.
Couldn't be helped. Maybe that's debatable. Tell me, Stryker, what brought this on?
What are you looking at me for, honey? I'm not the patient.
Well, Stryker, just lie there and relax. I'll drive you home on my way back to the hospital.
No, you're not.
I beg your pardon.
You're not taking him back to Vicky's. That home and what's in it is what upset him in the first place. Daddy, honey, I don't want you to go back there, and you don't have to.
See, what do you suggest, Rena?
Why, the Strikers stay here with us, darling.
Oh, and where do you suppose we should put him, darling? He certainly can't sleep on the couch. And Iris, in case you have forgotten, is presently occupying the only guest room we have.
Well, then, you and I can sleep in the study that we have built, and Stryker can sleep in our room.
Whatever you want, Rena.
Listen, Kevin is right. Don't put yourself out for me like that, honey. All I need is a little rest, and I can do that here on the couch.
Honey, now don't you say no to me. Come on, up you go. We're gonna take a nice long nap in our room.
Stryker, it'll be quieter. Besides, the medication I gave you will help you sleep.
All right, then.
There you go.
I want to thank Kevin one more time.
Get some rest, okay?
I want to thank you too, darling. Sure glad you were available.
Well, Rena, this is your lucky day, because I plan to keep myself available for at least another half hour.
Boy, honey, I can get Stryker into bed all by myself.
So we can have a little conversation, Rena. One that's been long overdue.
Is bent, so goes the tree. Here's to you, my little twig. Bent backwards, twisted toward your father. My little sharpened stake. My poisoned dagger of a daughter. Poised to stab in the only direction you've ever been bent to, your father's heart. Well, here's mud in your eye, Rena, for putting tears in mine. You wanted to hurt me? Well, you've done it. But why did you have to do it by hurting Stryker? Oh, once again, you've won, Rena. Even if your father and I are the losers, you'd do anything to win. Stop it. Stoop. Stop it! Stop it.
Open the door! I know you're in there! Do you hear me? I'm not leaving till I see you, Enrique! Open this door! It's me! Sam! I'm not leaving till I see you!
really not feeling very well today, dear, and I don't feel like seeing anybody. Not even you.
But it's urgent. And don't send me away. But I have to talk to you about can't wait.
Everything can wait. The world has stopped anyway.
Aunt Victoria, let me in. I've got to tell you something. It's about Alex Wheeler. You've got to let me in.
Oh, my Lord, Vicky. Come on here. Let's sit you down. Sam, I hate for you to see me like this. Well, it's a little bit late for that. I'm already here. It's a good thing I came. Looks like you've had enough of this.
I've had enough of everything. Oh, no, Sam, please. Please, don't take it away from me. It's the only thing that helps me stop the world.
But, Vicky, you can't stop the world with this.
But I can't let it go on.
Well, you have no choice. The world is going to go on with you or without you. And we'll all be a lot better off if you'll join us. Sober.
Where are you going?
To the kitchen to make some coffee. Something has come up, Aunt Vicky. You've got a decision to make soon. And you'll be a lot better off if you make that decision sober. Whether you think so or not.
I don't want to make any decisions, and I don't want to be sober.
But you're going to have to be. You've got no choice. Not now.
And I thought that we would take down this wall entirely, leaving the fireplace freestanding, of course.
Oh, but then the room on the other side of the wall.
The room on the other side of the wall could be used for a solarium with lots of plants all over.
Oh,
Yes.
what a lovely place that would be for breakfast.
Exactly. Shall I continue?
Oh, yes, please do.
Well, I've been thinking about a color scheme. Lots of reds and oranges and yellows and even a bit of fuchsia.
Orange? Fuchsia? Oh, no. I could never live with all that busyness. My suite in Bay City was all in white.
Oh, but Mrs. Carrington, this house is so much larger than a hotel suite. I mean, if you do this all in monochromatics, well, I don't think you would like that at all.
Well, yes, I suppose you're right. I will have to change. But I'd rather do it a little more slowly, if you don't mind.
Well, all right then. Then I suggest a lot of colorful accent.
Well, perhaps. Up to you.
Yes. And I felt so ugly because he was asking so little of me, and I couldn't even give him that without lying in my teeth. He only wanted to know if I'd stopped loving you. And the truth is, Alex, I can't stop.
Vicky.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that, Alex. But I did want you to know about Stryker.
Yes, I should. Thank you for telling me.
You'll have to face him tomorrow or the next day.
Yes, I know. And I'll be thinking about what to say to an old friend. But maybe somehow I can make it easier for him.
Bye, Alex.
Take care of yourself, Vicky. And I'll be thinking about what I have to tell Iris. Before somebody else does.
Darling, you haven't spoken a word in the longest time. Can I take that to mean you approve of all the plans Zoe and I have been making?
Of course, anything that makes you happy makes me happy too. Anything you want.
Well, that gives me a good start. And lots to go on. So, Mrs. Carrington, perhaps I will see you again in the middle of next week.
Yes, that will be just fine. You have a number where you can reach either Mr. Wheeler or myself.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, one more thing, so be sure that any art you purchase is done through one place and one place only.
Which place?
Western Art Gallery.
Western Art Gallery. Well, I doubt that they have the kinds of things that are suitable for the style of this house. I mean, Western Art Gallery carries things that are so,
You might be interested to know that my son is the manager of Western Art and may soon be its owner after it merges with Woodard Galleries. That's a national chain I'm sure you're familiar with.
Oh, yes. Well, then, of course. And I'll be very glad to see what they make available to me. Mr. Wheeler, Mrs. Carrington, I'll see you in the middle of next week.
Bye. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
These old bones are what they used to be.
Oh, I'll bet they are. Alex, I'm so happy. I'm so glad we found a way to help Dennis.
You mean financially?
Well, that, of course. That's just a way of starting the process of helping him lose some of the anger he's felt towards you because of Dawn. Oh, I do so want him to know you as I do. And to like you. Because then maybe one day we can be a real family.
What I've always longed for.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. There's something I've been somewhat reluctant to discuss with you about our being a family. It's something I need to share with you. Now, or very, very soon.
Just as soon as we get back to my suite. We both have a lot that needs to be said.
Well, that's about it. Doesn't look like much, though, does it?
Hey, come on, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. If that's all they want to know, that's all they want to know. Well, come on, finish it. Yours truly, Dennis Carrington, manager, Western Art Gallery. Perfect. All right, now where's the rest of it? Come on. Hey, come on, what's the matter, Dawn? This is a very important moment in our life, you know.
Yeah, I know. Just seems funny somehow.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Why would a big national chain like Woodard Gallery suddenly be so interested in affiliating with Western Art? I mean, we don't even carry the same kind of things that they do.
Well, all the more reason for them to be interested in us. They can increase their inventory, their style, and their reputation.
Maybe that's it. I don't know, they're staking that reputation on us, aren't they?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, then why didn't they send somebody down here to check us out? To look the place over, ask about our credit rating, our inventory?
Because they already knew that Western Art was perfect. That's why.
Dennis.
Dawn. Come on, don't be such a doubting Thomas. We're sending them the inventory and the balance sheet. The deal is going through.
Maybe you're right.
Maybe I'm right. Well, now, what kind of a vote of confidence is that from the woman who's going to be my wife, huh?
All right. Mr. Businessman.
Mr. Businessman. Now that I like. Dennis Carrington, seller of fine goods. That's it. I'll handle the sales. And you, my beautiful bride-to-be, will handle the buying.
The buying?
Mm-hmm.
Of what?
Well, for openers, your wedding gown.
I wonder if Grandma Kate still has my mother's wedding dress.
Well, ask her. And then ask her to help you with the guest list. Oh, and you better get your bridesmaids because that's going to take a lot of time.
Whoa. Slow down a minute,
What's
will
the
you?
matter? Have you changed your mind about marrying me?
No, but we haven't even set a date yet, and already you're rambling on about bridesmaids and guest lists.
Well, as soon as they give us a startup date, we set our own startup date.
You really want to set the date, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Come on. Come with me.
Wait a minute now. Where are you going now?
We are going to Maggie's. Yes, I want to hear you say it in front of everybody. I want witnesses, so I can hold you to it.
You're beautiful. But you don't need witnesses. Wild Texas horses couldn't keep me away from you. You know something? More than anything else in this world, I want for us to be together. Always.
I love you, Dennis.
Oh, Sam. Sam, how can everything in one life go so wrong?
Come on, Aunt Vicky. Things are just looking a little bleak right now, that's all.
Bleak right now and getting bleaker by the moment. Here's my drink.
Right here. Drink it.
It's coffee to clear your head. I don't want a clear head. That's the last thing in the world I want right now.
Aunt Vicky, it happens to be what you're going to need. Now sit down and drink that coffee.
Please, Sam.
Please, Aunt Vicky. You're welcome.
I'm sorry about this, Sam. It's just that things have been so painful for me lately.
Do you want to talk about it?
Well, what's there to talk about? The fact that I can't have what I want. But I can't make myself want what I have either.
You mean Alex and Stryker?
The fact that no matter which way I turn, poor Stryker just keeps getting hurt. And hurt and hurt. Oh, I want to drink, Sam.
Come on now, you don't know what you need.
Yes, I do. I need an anesthetic. I need a drink. I'd be better off dead.
Oh, Aunt Vicky, don't ever say that.
Why not? What have I brought into this world that the world wouldn't be better off without? Rena? Huh? My daughter who's no daughter. My little bad seed. Oh, she's deadly. My Lord, is she deadly. And that's all my fault too now, isn't it? Hmm? My life was just one long mistake. So I'll drink to that.
Aunt Vicky, maybe Alex was a mistake. Maybe you reached for the wrong dreams. Maybe you tried too hard or didn't try hard enough. But please don't hate yourself for it, will you? Aunt Vicky, you've done everything in the world possible to make up for it. You stood by Stryker when you didn't have to.
Ah, noble Vicky, how she tried.
Unfortunately, it all blew up in her face and in her heart. So what does it all add up to in the end, Sam? What's all this struggling for? For nothing. And what am I left with now? Nothing! Oh, I guess that's all right. Because all I want right now is nothingness.
You had to show these to Stryker, you dunce.
Darling, I may complain about it sometime, but today I am so glad I am married to a doctor. Whatever it is that you gave Stryker has a right to sleep in. Oh.
You didn't want me to see these, did you? Well, I did. So this is what upset Stryker today. This, pornography.
Yes, that's right.
And, you did it for him?
Yes,
No. No, you just couldn't keep yourself from telling Stryker about Alex and Vicky, could you? You had a secret, but you couldn't keep it.
Kevin,
Words weren't enough with you. You had to use pictures. Tell me something, Rena. Just how graphic do you suppose you could be with this? Huh? How come you didn't get them blown up wall side? You could have given Stryker the shock of his life.
Stop it! Stop telling me these things!
Why? Why? Because you don't want to hear it?
No, because it's not true. I'm not the one who told Stryker. Someone else did.
I'm supposed to believe that Stryker knew about these before he got here?
Yes,
And if he knew about it, why did you show him these pictures?
because he was pretending to himself that it wasn't important. He kept thinking that all this happened years and years ago while he and Vicky were still separated, but that's not true. It's still going on. She's still seeing Alex. Kevin, it's true. My father deserves the right to know the truth.
Even if it kills him?
Stop that! I can't let my father delude himself.
You'd rather see him dead than happy with Vicky, wouldn't you?
I don't know if you can understand this, Dr. Cook, but my father is a man. And before I'll see him played with or made into some kind of fool by that woman,
Rita! You'll kill him.
I'll kill him. Oh, no. Oh, Kevin, why did you have to tell me that? It's not true.
Well, now we get the famous Rena final gambit. Retreat into tears while the world rearranges itself in more suitable order.
Oh, shut up, Kevin! What do you expect me to say when you accuse me of trying to kill my own daddy?
I expect you to see things clearly.
See things clearly. I'm the only one around here who does. And it's quite clear to me that my mother is the one who's been hurting him and keeps on hurting him over and over again, just like she hurt me when she left Stryker and me for Alex Wheeler.
Rena! You cannot blame Vicky for the almost fatal attack Stryker had today.
Can't blame her. Who am I supposed to blame then?
Right there.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. You are bound and determined to make me the heavy in this piece, aren't you? Well, you're wrong. Vicky is the villain. Damn it, Kevin, you've seen these pictures. It's Vicky who's kissing Alex Wheeler, not me. She's the one who's been causing him all this grief, not me. I happen to love my
Yes,
daddy.
you love him enough. Show him pictures of his wife in the arms of another man.
I love him enough to care about the picture he has of himself as a man. And I'll tell you, I'll be damned if I'll let anyone lessen that image of him and make a fool out of him the way Vicky has been doing and keeps on doing. She does it over and over again. You know something?
You know something, Kevin? I'm starting to feel really strange the way you keep defending Vicky in this.
He is a decent.
Decent?
More decent than her daughter.
I'm not the one who's going around putting horns on my husband. Or maybe you're fooling around on me, huh? With my own mother, Kevin?
That is absurd.
Is it? And why is it that you're the only one around here who doesn't seem to see Vicky for the selfish woman she is and always has been? Why is it you can't stand aside and really see her for what she is?
Raina.
Oh, Kevin, don't waste your words on me. It's obvious that she has your claws into you, too.
That is ridiculous. However, I don't know why I should be surprised at such animosity. I've known you long enough
Do you
to know
really?
that Rena's own little world will always prevail in Rena's little mind, regardless of reality.
Reality is what you make
No,
it.
Rena! Reality is what exists. What is? It's the world out there. It's people. People who get hurt when they're bowled over on the way to your self-satisfaction.
Well, look who's talking. The expert in the operating room. The titan of teachers who always got his nose stuck in a medical book whenever he isn't opening or closing somebody. Since when did you become an expert on real people, honey? On the way real people feel. All you know about a heart can be applied to any old pump.
Well, perhaps that's the way I am.
Maybe I wish you were different.
Well, you keep wishing. Because that is all you've ever been able to do. Ever since you were a child when Stryker answered your every little whim. Buy me the moon, Daddy. Make me happy.
I was happy.
That's right. But you weren't with me, were you? You know why? Because I didn't do what you wanted me to do when I married you. That's right, I didn't pick up Stryker's
certainly
torch.
didn't.
I didn't pick up Stryker's torch and guarantee you everything would be exactly the way you wanted.
No, you didn't.
What'd you do when you discovered that, Rena? You went right back to the little nest that Stryker created for you. Well, you've got your little family back now, just you and Stryker. All you ever wanted was a father. Well, now that your father is here, you'll no longer need me, too. Rena, someday when you grow up, and I doubt that's possible, and you want a husband, remember something. Remember this. Husbands need wives. I need a wife. I do not need a daughter. So if you'd be kind enough to have Beth pack my things, I'll stay somewhere else.
Kevin, where are you going?
I don't think that's any of your business anymore, do you?
It certainly is. If where you're going is Vicky's, you're damn right it's my business.
Your father is trying to sleep.
Don't abandon the people who need you.
Who needs me?
Me. I do. Why do you think I kept pounding on that door? Why do you think I've been trying to sober you up all morning?
I'm sorry, Sam.
I know. I understand. Do you think you've had enough coffee now to be awake enough to listen to what's come up at KVIK?
Go ahead. I'll try.
You have to authorize a big expose that I just don't feel qualified to authorize myself.
But Sam, I've always backed you up.
Oh, I know, and given me complete authority. But that doesn't mean that my judgment is as good as yours. Or that when something this big comes up, I can handle it as well, without you there.
Sam, didn't you say something about Alex when you came in?
This expose, does it involve him?
Oh, does it ever?
I'm fine now. Go ahead.
Justin is doing a feature story on Clipper Curtis, the manager at the top of the Whirler Club. And in the process of doing that, he came across evidence that Alex Wheeler is the real owner of the club.
That's true, but almost no one else knows about it. But, Sam, it's not illegal. I don't see any news problem in revealing it.
That's just the beginning. Justin got a tip from someone who really knows that the entire club is wired for sight and sound. Aunt Vicky, that means that every single conversation that takes place in that club can be recorded on videotape by Clipper Curtis. The problem is, Justin has an appointment with Curtis this afternoon, and he plans to expose the mics, the wiring, all of it, the whole messy business. The question is, are you going to let him put it on the air? The thing of it is, I didn't know how you felt about Alex after...
But I do. Sam, get Justin on the phone. Almost no one else knows about it. But, Sam, it's not illegal. I don't see any news problem in revealing it.
That's just the beginning. Justin got a tip from someone who really knows that the entire club is wired for sight and sound. Aunt Vicky, that means that every single conversation that takes place in that club can be recorded on videotape by Clipper Curtis. The problem is, Justin has an appointment with Curtis this afternoon, and he plans to expose the mics, the wiring, all of it, the whole messy business. The question is, are you going to let him put it on the air? The thing of it is, I didn't know how you felt about Alex after...
But I do. Sam, get Justin on the phone.
That's right, Mr. Whalen. It's Rena Cook. Oh, no. Everything went just fine. It's just that I need your services again. Another job. No, it's not my mother. I think we handled that problem very nicely. No, this time it's my husband. That's right, Dr. Kevin Cook. At Gulf Coast Hospital. Yes? Follow him everywhere. Find out where he spends the night and with who. No, I don't think so. No, that's all I'll need, Mr. Whalen. In fact, that's all I'll ever need to know now. Because I can handle the rest all by myself.
KVIK, this is Sam Walker. Patch me through to the newsroom. News? Who is this? Larry? This is Sam. Is Marshall there? No, okay. Put me through to the mobile unit garage. Hello, garage? Is Justin Marshall there? He did what? Well, who authorized that? No, just a minute, hold on. Justin says that I authorized him to take a mobile unit. I didn't do anything like that.
Never mind that. Just get me patched through to Unit 4. I want to talk to Justin right now.
Is Justin Marshall there? Yes, okay. What do you mean the mobile unit's gone? Who authorized that? All right, okay, hold on a minute. Mobile Unit 4 is gone. Justin says that I authorized that. And Vicki, I never did anything.
Never mind that. Just get me patched through to Unit 4. I want to talk to Justin right now.
Patch this call through to Unit 4 and hurry up.
Justin, this is Victoria Bellman. I want you to hold off on that... what do you mean you can't hear me? Don't give me that. I know where you're going. Now, I decide if you do an expose on Alex Wheeler and the Top of the World Club. And nothing gets on the air unless I personally approve the script and the footage. You heard me, Justin. Get back to the studio and wait for... Justin?
What happened?
We were disconnected.
I'll get him back.
Forget it, Sam. We were disconnected on purpose. Justin hung up on me. He's going after Alex, whether he gets my okay or not.
That insubordinate, pig-headed...
He's a marshal, all right, through and through. There's got to be a way to stop him.
Maybe there is. Justin has to get your permission before he puts anything on the air. Why don't we just wait till he brings the tapes back to the studio?
Oh, Sam, you don't think he's going to bring anything back to KVIK? If he gets something hot, something that can put Alex in trouble, he'll take it to another station.
Isn't that illegal? I mean, Justin and the crew work for you.
Yes, maybe so. But in the middle of a scandal about Alex Wheeler, that little problem wouldn't matter. If I fire Justin, some other station will pick him up in a second. He's got nothing to lose, and he knows it.
That just isn't fair.
Nothing's fair. But what matters now is stopping him before it's too late.
Aunt Vicki, what if it's true? What if Alex Wheeler really is bugging the tables at the club? Should you try to protect him? Isn't that illegal too?
Sam, I've known Alex for 20 years. In all that time, I've never known him to do one thing that was illegal.
Well, maybe so, but there's always a first time, isn't there? What are you going to do?
I'm calling Alex.
World Oil Transport, Mr. Wheeler's office.
Yes, Terry, this is Victoria Bellman. I must speak to Alex right away. It's urgent.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Bellman, he's not in.
Terry, this isn't a personal call. I know that Alex isn't that anxious to talk to me, but what I have to say is very important to him, so please, tell him to take the phone.
If he were here, Mrs. Bellman, I would, but really, he's not.
Well, where is he? Can he be reached by phone?
No, I'm afraid not.
Alex Wheeler, I knew, was never more than a foot away from a phone, whether he was on his boat or driving.
Okay, I can call his limo. Jack will answer, and possibly he can get Alex.
Where is he, Terry? Why won't you tell me?
He's at Mike Marshall's house. I mean, the house that used to belong to Mike. But the phones have all been disconnected. I really can't call him there.
Mike Marshall's house? Well, what on earth is he doing there?
I think he's going to buy it from the Marshall family.
Buy Mike's place? Why would Alex? It's Iris, isn't it? She's with him. He's buying the house for her?
Mrs. Bellman, I really think
Please, Terry, level with me. Is she with him? I can't talk in front of her. I've got to know.
Well, yes. Alex is with Mrs. Carrington.
Will he be back at the World Building soon?
I think so. Do you want me to say...
I don't want you to say anything, Terry. I have to see him personally as soon as he gets back. I'll be there in a few minutes. I just hope it's not too late. Oh, come on, Sam. I've got to get dressed.
I'm busy. Will Phillips. Thought that old windbag was dead. Well, he might say something interesting. I said I was busy.
Well, get on busy, Curtis. You got some talking to do.
To you? I've done all the talking I'm going to. You haven't got the authority to talk to a busboy. So take your friend here and get out.
My friend has the authority to talk to anyone he wants to. I was just showing him the way to your office.
Oh, yeah? Let's see some ID.
Special Agent William Church, Mr. Curtis. Some new information has come in, and the people down in D.C. are looking again into Sheikh Zadi's murder. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Go ahead.
I've read the report put in by Agent Underwood. It seems that you overheard two men plotting the assassination of Sheikh Zadi. You later identified one of them as a Gulf Coast hospital orderly. Is that correct?
That's right.
Oh, yeah, he identified the orderly after the guy turned up dead.
I explained all that.
Yes, I've read the explanation. But I've known people at times to forget important facts and then suddenly have it all come back to them at a crucial moment.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Think very carefully, Mr. Curtis. Was Colonel Hassin the man you saw plotting with that orderly?
Hassin?
Right. Do you feel anything coming back to you?
Nah, Hassin wouldn't step on a bug if he could avoid it. Besides, I told you, he's in here all the time. I'd know his face in a second. And the guy I saw plotting with the orderly, that wasn't Hassin.
Come on, Curtis. I saw you in a scene at Stryker's office.
Sure you did. I was just steering him to the best lawyer in Houston. I mean, I do favors like that for lots of my customers.
How many favors do you get in return?
Hey, look, pal, I don't know.
Stryker wouldn't talk about the deal you were cooking up, since it conflicted with World Oil. But I got Alex to tell me what your pitch was.
Wheeler shouldn't have let that out. That was private, just me and him.
Like the private arrangement between you and Hassin? Come on, what was it, Curtis? You wouldn't turn him in for Zadi's murder if he made you Tankir's shipping agent?
That's a lie!
Why else did he choose you? You wouldn't know a tanker from a tugboat.
Hey, I don't have to take this!
Mr. Curtis, Lion, take it easy. We can discuss this calmly.
How can you discuss anything with a guy that calls you a blackmailer?
Oh, well, I hadn't come to that term yet, but I think that fits real well.
Colonel Hassin is my friend. He offered to make me Tankir's agent because he likes me and trusts me. Now, if you don't believe me, ask him.
We tried. But it looks like he skipped out shortly after I saw the two of you in Stryker's office. Now, where'd he go, Curtis?
How should I know?
Did you know he had left? Is he headed for Tankir?
What am I, his keeper? I don't know where he is. I didn't even know they'd left.
Hey, does this make you nervous?
No, why should it? We had a business deal is all. He's not my brother.
Some business. Assassination, blackmail, terrific.
Yeah, I've heard about all the accusations.
Come on, that's enough. We don't want to get blood all over the carpet. Now, break it up. I think you better let me conduct the questioning from now on, Ryan. You seem to be too involved in this.
Involved? You'd think you'd have a personal grudge against me.
You know, Curtis, you're really not one of my favorite people either.
Sit down. Both of you. Now then, Mr. Curtis. About this business arrangement you had with Colonel Hassim. Maybe you'd like to fill me in on the details.
Mr. Whalen, did you find out where Kevin went when he left here? To his office at the hospital. Well, what did you call me about that for? Never mind. I told you to let me know. Listen, you stay on him. Because sooner or later, he's going to end up in somebody's bed, and I want to know whose. Right? Keep in touch. Daddy, honey, what are you doing up? You should be back in bed.
No. That phone call of yours put an end to any sleep I would have gotten. Now, who was that?
I want you back in bed. I thought that stuff that Kevin gave you would knock you out for a few hours.
Now, look, stop trying to turn my head around and listen to me.
Not until you promise that you'll go back to bed. You scared me. Nearly keeling over like that, huh?
You have set that detective following Kevin, haven't you? Haven't you? I want to know, girl, just what is going on between you and Kevin.
Come on, if you won't go to bed, will you at least just sit down? Daddy, it's not that important.
Now, baby, the most important thing in the world to me is your happiness. If you and Kevin are fussing, I want to know about it.
All right. That's the way you feel about it, but it's stronger than just fussing this time. Come on, you sit down. Kevin found out about my showing you those photos of Alex and Vicky, and he just used it as an excuse to pick a fight with me.
What?
He's been seeing another woman. Oh, I know it's true.
How do you know it's true? By having that Whalen creeping around and taking dirty pictures
No.
through people's open windows?
No. At least not yet.
Now, Rena, Kevin would never...
Now, Stryker, don't you try to defend him. He doesn't deserve that. No, he tried to make me feel guilty, and then he walked out on me. Yes.
He walked out on you?
Yes,
What?
he said there wasn't room in my life for a husband and a father. And he said that if you were going to be staying here, that he'd find someplace else.
Oh, Rena, I'm so sorry.
No, don't be sorry, Daddy. He's just using all that head shrinker mumbo jumbo as an excuse. What he really wants is to go back to her.
I don't believe that. All my life, I've tried to make you happy. And all I seem to have accomplished is to hurt you so bad you don't even know it.
Daddy, that's not true.
Yes, it is true. By heaven, I never tried to hurt you. I thought that when you married Kevin, it would all be easier. I thought that with all my heart. If I had known what my bringing you back to Houston would have done to your marriage, I think I would have cut my arm off rather than pick up that phone.
Oh, well, I'm glad you did it. Just
Let Kevin hang.
Oh, I can't take your husband's place, honey.
Daddy, if it's going to be a choice between you and Kevin, that's an easy choice for me. I mean, I want you here. I don't want
Honey,
that son
honey,
of a...
the worst thing I could do to you in the world would be for me to come and live here.
That's not true.
Yes, it is true. I am not going to destroy your marriage. I am not going to let either you or Kevin use me as an excuse for walking out.
I didn't walk out. Kevin is the one who did that. Just the way Vicky walked out on you. Oh, Stryker, don't you see it, honey? It's just you and me. It's always been just the two of us against Vicky, against everyone.
If you really believe that, I guess I have wounded you too deeply for you ever to get over it. If you are ever going to grow up, you're going to have to do it by yourself. Goodbye, baby.
Stryker, don't leave me. Don't leave me, please.
Honey,
Please.
I have got to.
I want you here. Where are you gonna go? You gonna go back to Vicky's? How can you do that, Daddy, when you know that she's still in love with Alex?
I don't know. But whatever happens between the two of us, I know one thing: I am not gonna stay here. Now you turn around and you pick up that telephone and you call Kevin and you tell him I'm gone. And you tell him you're sorry. Now listen, I never took a strap to you when you were little, but by heaven, I wish I had. You pick up that phone and call your husband.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm tired of being told what to do. I think I'm going to give a little time to Waylon first. I want to see just where Kevin sleeps tonight.
I'm real sorry. I'll put you on. Come on over here. I've got a real nice... How about a booth right here in the corner? Nice and quiet.
If I drink another cup of coffee, I am not going to sleep for a week.
Don't you want to stick around and tell Maggie our good news?
Well, of course I do, but I don't want to end up like a zombie. How would you feel if I had bags under my eyes the size of suitcases, and my eyes were permanently bloodshot?
Oh, I think you'd look cute.
Cute. You're cute.
Well, hi, kids.
Hi, Maggie.
Maggie.
You know, I don't know when I've been so busy. I think it's this psychiatrist convention that's in town. Working on sick minds doesn't seem to hurt their appetites at all. Oh, look at me standing here running my mouth out, forgetting my manners. Can I get you some more coffee?
Oh, no more. Thanks, I've had enough.
Yeah, me too. Dennis and I were just waiting around because we have some good news we want to tell you.
Oh, honey, what's that?
Well, Western Art has had an offer to associate with a national chain.
Woodard Galleries, one of the biggest and best in the country.
Well, that's real nice.
That's nice? That's all you can say?
Maggie, this offer makes all the difference in the world. Without it, we wouldn't be able to borrow 20 cents, and Western Art would be sold to somebody else.
Yeah, but now we can get the money that we need to get started.
Yeah, get started in our own business. And our marriage.
Marriage. Now, that was something I never did think much of, and these days I've decided I'm going to start a campaign against it.
You mean you don't want Dennis and me to get married? Maggie, what are you saying?
Oh, honey. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm not talking about you and Dennis. Oh, babies, I'm real happy about the two of you. I had this other thing on my mind, this other marriage that isn't working out so good. Oh no, the two of you are gonna be fine, and I know Dennis will treat you right.
Well, of course I will, Maggie.
Now that sounds more like you, Maggie. But, whose marriage were you talking about?
Oh, hey, Nita.
Oh, hi, Dennis. Dawn.
I thought we were sitting in your section, but that other waitress, Daisy, helped us.
Oh, yeah, I asked her to. It's getting pretty busy there.
Are you feeling better, honey?
Yeah, sure. Listen, it was nice talking to you folks, but, I got a customer with a check over there. See you, bye. Bye, Nita.
Take it easy, Nita. What in heaven's name happened to her?
Well, she went over to visit Ricky, just to see how he was feeling. Billy Joe found out about it, and he knocked her down.
Yeah? Maybe he ought to try picking on somebody his own size. Then we'd see who'd get knocked down.
Drove all the way out here to the ranch just to see about the Western Art building. Oh. I'm sorry, Bart. Now, I should have called you. So you could be spared the trip.
If you haven't had a chance to talk to Stryker about it yet.
Oh, no, that isn't it. It's just that we have another buyer, we think.
Another buyer?
Yes. Dennis Carrington, Dawn's fiancé. Think he's been managing the gallery. He's going to try to buy the building and keep the place running.
As Western Art?
Uh-huh. And I think it'll do Dawn a world of good. So it'll be a living. It'll be something that she and Dennis can share. And it'll be something of Michael's that she'll be able to keep in the family. You know, she's taken her daddy's death very hard.
Yeah, I see. You know, that's what I was trying to do in a way. Keep the property in the family.
In what way?
I wanted Courtney to be my partner. But a general medical practice wasn't good enough for her once she was offered that traineeship at Gulf Coast Hospital.
You know, I can't think of anything better than being a plain, old-fashioned doctor that helps folks. Seems to me we've got too many doctors, surgeons cutting up people. That's what Courtney wants.
Yeah, she's got exactly what she wants.
So now you'll be looking for another office and another partner?
Well, for right now, I think I'm just going to set up by myself. And the Western Art Building's too big for that anyway. There are a couple of other places for sale in the neighborhood, so at least I'll still be able to go to Maggie's for lunch.
You're going to help yourself.
I think I will.
That's something.
Hi there, boy.
Do I smell cookies?
You sure do. I made your favorite kind. Well, Lena, won't you come have some?
No, thanks, Kate. Max will be expecting me, I think.
How are you doing now, Elena?
I didn't realize you two knew each other.
Maggie asked me to take a look at Elena after she had that fall down the stairs. So how are you feeling now?
I'm okay, Dr. Walker.
No headaches? Dizziness?
No, I'm just fine now, thanks.
I gotta go help Max at the stables.
Hold on. Whoa there, boy. Better come back here, young man. Not in your school clothes. You get on up those stairs and change into your stable jeans. You will excuse this, won't you, Bart?
I think I better be getting back to
Wait, Elena. Now that Mrs. Marshall's left, you can tell me. Are you hiding something?
Well, what makes you think I'm hiding something?
Just the way you're acting.
Well, how am I acting?
Like you're hiding something. Like you're afraid to talk to me.
Did Aunt Maggie ask you to come out here and check up on me?
No, I came out here to see Mrs. Marshall about a business matter.
Oh.
But now that I am here, I am your doctor. You don't have to hide anything from me. Look, whatever's worrying you, it may be nothing, but you're going to have to tell me about it before I can know that.
I can't tell you about it. I can't tell anybody.
Look, if you're trying to keep your family and Kate from worrying about you, I promise I won't say anything to you. Trust me.
I do. It's just, I don't know.
Then tell me, what is it? Have you been blacking out?
No.
Then what kind of symptoms have you been having?
Oh, it's nothing like that. It's nothing physical.
Then what?
Dr. Walker, I am so ashamed. I lied about what happened.
You didn't fall down the stairs?
No, I did. I didn't tell you everything.
Oh. Then it's something else you did. Well, if it's not medical, it's none of my business. I won't press you.
Well, maybe I'd feel better if I told somebody about it. Do you promise not to say anything?
Of course. Haven't you ever heard of doctor-patient confidentiality? Now, you haven't done anything that serious anyway, have you?
No. I guess not. But listen, I don't want Max or Ricky to find out about this. I mean, I am afraid of what they do to him.
To whom?
To Billy Joe Wright.
Nita's husband?
Yeah. Yeah, we had a few beers, you know, and then he tried to get me to go upstairs with him, and I didn't want to go.
And then he hit you.
No. No, it wasn't that serious. Well, I tried to push him away, and then I lost my balance, and that's when I fell.
Look, Elena, I promised you I wouldn't say anything to your family, and I won't. But I think you should. Talk to Maggie or your brothers.
No, I can't do that. Don't you understand? Look, if Max or Ricky ever found out, I know what they'd do to him. They'd kill Bill.
Put up with that creep. Why don't you throw him out in the street and let him crawl in a garbage can where he belongs?
Maggie, I can't.
Look,
do
Nita,
that.
if you're afraid of Billy Joe, why don't you just let me stand next to you when you tell him to beat it? If he so much as twitches, I swear I'll...
Dennis! Dennis, thank you, but
He's only gonna make it worse.
Well, you're only going to make things worse by living with him. Why do you put up with it?
Because I'm his wife. And I love him.
I think that just about covers it, Mr. Curtis. Well, are you sure? I mean, you guys have only wasted an hour of my time and asked 500 questions.
Oh, you haven't seen 1/10 of what we can do, Curtis.
Oh, yeah? Well, that 10th will last me a lifetime, so don't hurry back.
We'll call you when we need you. In the meantime, if you happen to hear from Colonel Hassin, I'll be at that number.
Sure. But, I'm sure the Colonel's probably back in tank here by now watching a belly dancer or something. I mean, he was so full of some muck-a-muck cabinet position that they were going to offer him that I couldn't get him to shut up about it.
Yes, judging from your answers to my questions, that was all he talked about.
I told you everything I know. Now, you could check with the Colonel, if they let you into tank here.
Oh, he's not there yet.
Well, it doesn't matter two beans to me. I told you, Hassin is not the man you're looking for. It was somebody I never saw before.
Sure.
You're not planning any trips out of town, are you, Mr. Curtis?
Why don't you ask my travel agent?
We will.
Is that all? Well, I'm sure you gentlemen will excuse me if I don't show you out, but I'm very busy.
Yes, I've seen that. Keep in touch.
Miguel, what is it? Damn! I need those TV people like I need a hole in the head. Look, right, Stahl, Marshall, and the camera crew. Give them a drink on the house. Hell, give them a whole bottle. Just make sure it isn't any of the good stuff. I don't know how long I'm gonna be, so get them sloshed if you have to, okay? I got more important things on my mind. Yeah. Hi, baby. Where's Alex? I've got to see him right away.
He's in his suite.
Thanks.
Hold it, Clipper! You can't go in there.
Why not?
Alex just got back here with Mrs. Carrington. They're both in there and they do not want to be disturbed. Clipper!
All right, all right. I wouldn't bother Alex for anything, but he's got to get that nephew of his off my back.
Ryan Connor, huh?
Yeah, Ryan Connor. He and some friend of his from the feds came into my office and took turns taking swats at me on the tennis court.
About Colonel Hassin?
Yeah. How did you know? Look, baby. Connor's got some crazy notion that I'm holding back info on that assassination plot. Now, I told him everything I know. You believe me, don't you?
I've always believed you, Clipper. Everything you ever told me, no matter how hard it was.
Well, then believe me when I tell you Connor's about to drive me up a wall. Alex is the only one who can call him off. Terry, honey, you've got to talk to Alex for me. Connor has got his teeth sunk in my arm and he won't let go. He's crazy.
Is he, Clipper?
So that's the way you feel. Thanks for being there when I needed you. Well, baby, just forget I ever asked you for anything. I'll just have to see Alex when his watchdog's not on duty.
Mary, is he back yet?
Yes, but he's not seeing anyone.
I have to see him immediately.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Bellman, but Mr. Wheeler asked not to be disturbed.
Mr. Wheeler? Is that what he told you to call him around me? My, haven't things changed?
No! You can't just barge in there.
Dwight, what are you doing in here? I thought I told you to keep those TV people off my back. Doesn't anybody do anything I say?
I'm always on the lookout for your interest, Mr. Curtis.
Yeah, sure. So who's giving those guys drinks while you're looking out for me?
I left him a bottle. The cheap stuff, just like you said.
I never said the cheap stuff. I meant not the best stuff. Oh, what's the use? I can't depend on anybody.
Yes, you can, Mr. Curtis. I left those guys in the bar because I didn't get a chance to talk to you last night. And I seen something you ought to know about.
Yeah, sure. You're a regular watchdog, just like the one up in Wheeler's office. The eyes and ears of the world. Well, come on, spill it. I haven't got all day.
Yeah, I know. You're a busy man. I overheard Paige and her brother at the bar last night. You know, the guy who's going to do that TV interview?
Justin Marshall?
Yep.
Well, so what? He's been in here before. It's not exactly big news that Paige has got a brother.
No, but what they was talking about might be big news to a TV audience.
What are you driving at?
Paige told this Marshall guy that she had some dirt on him. And for a price, she'd let him have it.
What was it?
I don't know. She didn't say, but she and Marshall agreed to meet at the TV station this morning, and I figured you'd want to know about it before they, came in here and got you to talking, especially in front of all those TV cameras. Right, Mr. Curtis?